of the administration's promises.
Even now, Donald Trump isn't satisfied. Today, even more cruel, he appealed to the Supreme Court yet again to try and get out of paying full SNAP benefits.
Stacey Lynn reports.
President Trump signaled he would sign the compromise proposal. He said he'll stick to the terms of the deal, which includes the reinstatement of federal workers who were fired during the shutdown. He also assured that air travel would get back on track.
It'll be much better than normal because we're buying the most sophisticated avionics and, technology.
Not part of the deal, though, healthcare provisions.
We want a healthcare system where we pay the money to the people instead of the insurance companies.
The nation's airports saw a lot of delays again today. Trump told air traffic controllers to show up for work. He threatened to dock the pay of those who don't. At Newark Airport in New Jersey, CBS's Meg Oliver.
Newark is one of the hardest hit airports today with significant delays and cancellations, along with Chicago, Boston, Atlanta, and Phoenix.
Travel editor Peter Greenberg.
Even if the government opens back up, that doesn't mean the controllers are suddenly coming back to work, but they should be back to work within 2 to 3 days after the vote. Then it'll take the airports and the airlines between 36 and 72 hours to get planes back in sequence, flight crews back on schedule.
In the Midwest, flight delays were also caused by some very winter-like weather. The snowplows were out in Indiana. Jim Krasula reports the Supreme Court has rejected a call to overturn its decision legalizing same-sex marriage.
The justices turned aside an appeal from Kim Davis. She's the former Eastern Kentucky court clerk who refused to issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples in the fall of 2015. Davis has been appealing a court order that she pay $360,000 in damages and legal fees.
Peter King reports there are new rules for legalized betting on baseball following the indictments of 2 pitchers.
Emmanuel Clase has thrown plenty of these. Swing and a miss! But he and fellow pitcher Luis Ortiz are accused of purposely throwing balls out of the strike zone to help gamblers win so-called prop or micro-prop bets based on a certain pitch at a certain time. Major League Baseball announced that its betting partners, DraftKings and FanDuel, have agreed to restrict bets on individual pitches to $200.
On Wall Street today, stocks finished higher. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Is Seattle's mayoral race headed for a recount? That's coming up after Ted Biener at the real-time traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. This traffic report is brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. A few blocking issues to highlight on northbound 405 near the West Valley Highway. Crash continues to block the HOV lane. We got backups onto I-5 and State Route 518. Also, on the eastbound 518 ramp from State Route 99, we got a crash there that's blocking the right lane. Some good news, though, on the southbound I-5 ramp from westbound 18, that crash just cleared, and the backup on 18 down to State Route 167. That should start to recover soon. Elsewhere, traffic is moving with some areas of slowing. That includes both directions of I-5 from the Ship Canal Bridge into downtown, southbound I-5 from the Duwamish Curve to State Route 516, also southbound 167 from State Route 18 down into Sumner, and southbound 405 has got scattered brake lights from I-90 into the Renton curves. Heading north, northbound 405 slows approaching State Route 522. Northbound I-5 now has some crowding from Shoreline to 220th and Mount Lake Terrace, and also from the Boeing Freeway all the way to 4th Street in Marysville. The Narrows Bridge and the Lake Bridges are doing well. Drive time, Seattle or Bellevue to Everett, both of those are close to 35 minutes. Heading south, Bellevue to Renton, 20 minutes. Renton to Puyallup, 35 minutes. Seattle to Tacoma, 40 minutes. And Tacoma to Olympia through JBLM, that is 35 minutes. For the first time ever, Lake Washington Windows and Doors is offering 0% interest for 60 months and 15% off new windows and doors. Visit lakewashingtonwindow.com today. I'm Ted Biener with KIRO News Radio, Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. Updated results for Seattle's mayoral race are coming within the hour. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey on what one political strategist is predicting.
Heading into Monday evening's ballot drop, Bruce Harrell leads challenger Katie Wilson by less than 2 points. Republican strategist Randy Pepple predicts Wilson will pass Harrell in the next ballot drop but it's going to remain too close to declare a clear winner.
You're going to see a big chunk of that counted today, but all that's going to do is tighten the race up.
Harrell held an 8-point lead on Election Day. Pepple thinks there will be a recount. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
King County's incoming executive says he is fast-tracking his transition. Gurmai Zahalai announced a 100-member committee today and says he wants to learn firsthand what the county needs.
Spending the night shift in our King County jails, riding the metro buses. You will find me in our public health clinics, learning the issues that you are experiencing every day.
At 38 years old, he'll become the youngest and first immigrant to lead the county. He officially takes office November 25th. Pierce County Sheriff's Office says deputies busted a woman who was setting fires in Spanaway. Neighbors telling deputies she was tossing burning objects into yards last night near Pacific Lutheran University.
What is this? Is this M80?
Her arrest captured on body camera video.
It's a little bomb thing that he plays with them.
Little bomb thing that he plays with? Okay. Were you setting this off?
No.
Fires and stuff? No.
The 33-year-old was booked for 2 counts of reckless burning. Much of Clallam County today on the Olympic Peninsula is experiencing a widespread internet and phone outage. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch reports it started with a fire last night.
Clallam County Fire Marshal Joel McKean says the fire started just after 6 Sunday night behind Olympic Tire on East 1st Street. Old tires burning in a dumpster, he says, quickly spread.
A nearby power pole was exposed to the heat and flames, resulting in damage to a transformer and an Astound broadband fiber line.
Cutting internet and phone service. According to KNOP News Radio, Astound is working on the problem, but currently there is no estimated time for restoration. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Weather update now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. We are seeing some clouds and sun breaks today and some light showers also in Snohomish County. Right now, 60 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show. Thank you.
See, when you come out of those up-tempo damn numbers, man, it's impossible to make those transitions. And then you got to go into somebody dying. You know, they do this to me all the time. I don't know what the hell they do it for, but damn it, if we can't come out of a slow record, I don't understand it. I want a damn concerted effort to come out of a record that isn't a up-tempo record every time I do a damn death dedication. This is the last damn time I want somebody use his brain to not come out of a damn record that is that's up tempo, and I got to talk about a dog dying. What is this? Ponderous, man.
Ponderous.
It's
down on the phone. Get down on the phone. Poor Don. Poor Casey. Remember they couldn't find his body for a long time? It was like somewhere around here, the Pacific Northwest or something.
There was a
what's Frank here? Do I get to do Frank?
We have important business to settle.
Oh, well,
okay.
There we go with the John Curley Show. Okay,
Frank.
Important business. What? Yes.
Frank, I came into your office because I noticed a discrepancy on the Secretary of State's website as to when the ballot drop would be today.
Yeah.
And it says 5 p.m.
Oh, good.
But Aaron, who is the news master and is the trusted word
the discrepancy is real because on the Secretary of State's website it does say 5 p.m. But you go to the King County Elections website, it says 4 p.m.
Wow, we're just blowing the lid right off of this story.
I know.
Ponderous, man.
Ponderous. However, I will say every day since election night, the results have come down at 4.
Which is why I came to our news director. I said, Frank, what are we doing here?
Is Don on the phone?
I think we need to call Don. We got to get John on the phone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are we supposed to know the results if one place is saying 4 and the other is saying 5?
We're planning around this, Frank.
Frank,
what are we doing?
We'll get to the bottom of this. I will.
Okay, so
what's that supposed to mean? Thanks. It's a big help.
That's right. Hey, I got 50 minutes.
Okay, to find out.
Okay, fine.
I have a question for you. What was the turnout? Do they know the percentage?
What is it like? Last I saw was like 20.
I think so. They were expecting like 35 to 45. I want to say statewide, but Seattle looks to be a little higher than that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Because if it was like 25% or 30% turnout, that means 70% don't care if Frank comes back and tells us.
Those are the stories I give myself, the ones I don't care about, the ones that aren't very important.
Okay, so micro news.
Last update, King County, 37% turnout as of last count.
Hey, well, you're going to argue with Frank on that one? Wrong! All right. All right, thank you, Frank. You'll let us know exactly when that's going to be happening.
Absolutely.
All right, there we go. And in the meantime, 2 pages with a stapler because we're high class. Here's the news. Hang on. That's on me, isn't it? Because we're the news, staple news. Frank will come back and tell us when the next ballot dump will be happening. Oh, they changed dump to drop. They think that sounds better.
Forgot we were dumping.
Plus, also the anniversary of the Wreck of the Evan Fitzgerald. Which, by the way, when they went to write the song and do the song, it took Gordon about 1 week to write it. But then, how they recorded it, well, that is a bit of history. I asked Joe, the song was like 8 minutes long or something like that.
Right.
The radio station still played it. And it wasn't even supposed to, well, I'm going to save some of it. Plus, also, it's so sad to see that the Farmer's Almanac is going away after more than 200 years. So now no one will be able to know whether or not the squirrels' tails are fluffy and whether winter is going to be coming our way.
Aw.
I used to love the Farmer's Almanac.
Did
All
you
sorts of great stuff in there.
Oh, wow. It's like your book of facts.
It was like my go-to when I was a weatherman because I wasn't a meteorologist. Sorry, Ted Beaner. But going away. I didn't realize it had been taken over by just this husband and wife, and they were pumping the stuff out.
Really?
And now it's gone. Plus, Rye stops by. He went to the game yesterday. My wife also went to her first Seahawks game and was shocked when she went to buy a round of drinks for everybody, and it cost $85. Plus, also, what the Seahawks are doing right and can't do wrong. And hopefully, did you find the cut? Did you get it from Rye? Coach McDonald is always just straight-laced, not a whole bunch of emotion, but a friend of his caught him coming out of the Commanders' parking lot last week, and it was a moment that I don't know if the coach necessarily wants broadcast.
Ooh.
I'm trying to find that. Okay. Plus, also, the most inevitable scandal in sports history has happened. That's according to the Wall Street Journal. That's the betting that's been going on. And then, of course, oh my gosh, it's shocking that the pitchers indicating a scheme to rig the bets on thrown pitches. Yeah. If this stuff continues, if they get more of it, the FBI has done, I think they looked at 11. They got 11 different cases where they believe sports had been rigged so that bets could be paid off. This is going to, if it ends up being the case, it's going to destroy the National Basketball Association.
Well,
So who wants to watch a game and go, oh, it's rigged?
It could be every sport.
Yeah, well, apparently now it's in baseball.
Yeah.
Wait for the music to pick back up again. Plus, a Trump roundup. A 50-year mortgage is something that Donald Trump is saying, hey, how about a 50-year mortgage? That'll make it easier for everybody else. Plus, you're going to get a $2,000 check in the mail for the tariffs.
Stimmy.
That's such a bad move. And this Washington Supreme Court will make the determination whether the president has the ability to put tariffs. What's this emergency stuff? So, look, my bold prediction is they're going to go, yeah, you don't have you can't under some sort of executive emergency, you can't do tariffs. You got to go back to Congress on that. Plus, looks like they're going to vote. And the Democrats or the Republicans say they have enough Democrats that are going to cross over, open up the government, at least until the end of January or something, and then they're going to talk about whether they want to continue paying the Obamacare subsidies for everybody. And air traffic controllers, Trump is telling them, hey, we might dock your pay if you don't come back to work sooner. And I ran out of time. I have another hour.
We'll get you a longer song. Don't worry.
Yeah. Let's see. I traveled over the weekend, and I was a slight victim of the. I was. Yeah, here was the flight. I was thinking.
Yes.
It was supposed to be Norfolk, Virginia to Charlotte direct to Seattle. And instead, the woman, when I went up to the counter at 5 o'clock in the morning, she said, well, looks like we're going to have to reroute you. And they do that thing where they like this. It's like, what do you got for me? Still working on it. Hold on. And then I realized at that point, I needed to be extra nice to her. So I was extra nice. And I was like, I feel so sorry for you. If this continues, the people are going to be up here and they're going to be mad. It's going to be really hard for you. So she said, well, I've got you. That flight from that Charlotte got canceled. So hold on. Please, oh, please, God, please. Okay, I can get you. We're going to go Norfolk, Virginia to Chicago. I was like, okay, that's good. I'll take that. And then to Dallas. I was like, wrong direction. And then into Denver. It's like, what the hell? I could walk there faster. I didn't say that. I was like, oh, whatever you can do. That's whatever. You're a gift from God. And then she goes, and then into Seattle, which got me in like at 12:30 at night. And then I said to her, gosh, I just I feel for so many people that are going to be so delayed. And then all of a sudden she went, can you hold on a second? Okay, I can get you into Chicago and then into Seattle. It's like, whoo! Nothing worse than going in the wrong direction. Oh, yeah. So, got in, and it looks like I would assume, because I think they canceled 2,200 flights over the weekend, or at least on Sunday alone, and more flights expected to be canceled today, and that's putting a gigantic bit of pressure on any Democrats that wanted to hold out on whether they should vote for the continuing resolution. Now, to a story that my sister reminded me of, because she called me just before I got here. We were talking about throwing stuff out, and she reminded me of the story. I used to go to the Fremont dump. It's now known as the something North Seattle transfer station. But when I used to go there, at least once a month, because I really enjoyed going there and throwing stuff out, it used to be a giant pit, a big, open, stinking pit where everybody threw everything in there. And the guys that worked there didn't check anything to make sure you were cleaning out your tuna fish cans and stuff. You just chucked everything in. Some of the fun stuff I used to do there would take a can of paint and then you'd whip it around over your head and then throw it against the wall. It would go way out and hit the back wall, and then the can would open up and paint would come dripping down the walls. There was a whole bunch of other people that had done that as well, because I could tell from the paint. So that was part of the fun. I was looking for cans of paint that still had paint in them, because that was fun. And on one particular day, I had a whole bunch of metal poles. I don't know where I got them from. I got them from an awning or something from the other owner of the house. So I was there with a pickup truck, and I had my metal poles there. I was pushing stuff in, and this guy pulls up. He backs up his pickup truck next to mine, and with that, he slowly begins to push gigantic furniture, like that really heavy kind of old person furniture, off the back of a truck, and then it would slide down the wall, and realized there was a huge bulldozer. A big bulldozer slowly making its way back and forth across this steaming pit of garbage. And the guy's in there just running stuff over. So as this guy that's to the left of me pushes like a big chest of drawers down into the side, it slides down the wall and then tumbles forward. I thought, oh, there we go. There's something to aim at. So I got this metal pole, and it was spear. I used to throw javelin in high school. No, it's 162 feet, but that whatever. And I got it back and let fly. And it went down and it hit this big, gigantic, heavy wooden chest of drawers, and the thing just exploded. And I realized, oh my God, this is going to be going to the dump even more fun than throwing cans of paint against the wall. And the guy looked over and saw me throw it and then said, yo, dude, that's not cool. I was like, what's not cool? Come on, you're like intentionally, it's like, that's my grandmother's furniture. It's like, yeah, but yeah, I know, but he goes, it's not cool, man. You're like aiming at it. So like, just don't do that. Like, just don't do that to my grandmother's furniture. And I felt like saying to him, let me get this straight. This is not an accident that you're here. You're pushing it into the giant hole, and the guy in the bulldozer is eventually going to run it over. So it's not like I'm intentionally going to your grandmother's house and throwing big rusty metal poles at your grandmother's chest of drawers. You're at a dump. It's every man for himself when you're at the dump. You're lucky I don't have a can of paint to dump on this sort of stuff. So I just sat there and waited because I didn't know where to be. I love going to the dump there in Fremont before it became the transfer station that now has a kids' room you can go to. So I waited, and the guy sort of waited for me, and then trucks are backing up. So he pushes another piece down. As he pushes it down, he puts his hands on his hips like, I dare you. And it's like, yeah, no kidding. So I took the metal bowl and threw another one at it and hit the side of it. And there was glass on this one. It went everywhere. Yo, man, that is really not cool, man. You were being such a D-bag over there. Have some respect for my grandmother's furniture. I said, and then at that point, let me explain something to you. See the guy with the bulldozer? He's going to run it over, too. He goes, yeah, but that's different, man. That's his job. I said, but this is kind of like my job, throwing my stuff on top of your grandmother's stuff. This is fun for me. He goes, man, you got to get your priorities straightened out. I said, no, you got to understand, this is a dump. You're dumping your grandparents' furniture into the dump, and I'm allowed to throw anything I want at it, and if it looks like I'm intentionally aiming at it, I can't help it. I threw the javelin in high school. So then there was just this uncomfortable standoff where I thought, again, I don't care. I've got like 6 more poles to go, and from the back of his truck, he looked like he had the rest of his grandmother's entire house. And I just waited. And every time he'd throw something in, I would just spear it like a fish. Anyway, I regret the fact that all that stuff doesn't happen anymore. But the good old days where you could go to the dump before it became a transfer station, where now I looked up, there's 2 bad reviews. Somebody said, I went there and they wouldn't take any of my bottles and cans because I hadn't cleaned them out properly. What is this world coming to? I ask you. It's not a world I want to live in. I want to go to a dump where I can throw paint against the wall and impale grandmother's furniture. Vote for me. There you go.
Wait, okay. I know we're running out of time.
Yeah.
But did you have another conversation, or did you guys just
then
back
I
and forth?
just kept going, and then he just hated me after that. I didn't care.
I wonder what he's doing. I wonder if he knew who you were.
No. There was that problem back then, which stopped me from flipping a lot of people off while driving and just being just a better citizen.
Good old days.
Yeah, the good old days. Oh, aren't you the guy from Evening Magazine flipping me off? All right. Beaner, what do you got out there? What's happening on the roadways? Everybody behaving themselves?
So far, we've got some things getting improved here, in fact, on northbound 405 near the West Valley Highway. The crash blocking the HOV lane just cleared, and all lanes are back open. The backups onto I-5 and 518, they're starting to recover. Westbound State Route 18 is slowly recovering from an earlier crash on the southbound I-5 ramp, and that backup to near State Route 18 is slowly but surely easing. Otherwise, we've got more cars that are joining your Monday afternoon commute. Northbound I-5 has braking from the Boeing Freeway to past Marine View Drive. Northbound 405 stacking up, approaching 522. Both directions of I-5 are sluggish from the Ship Canal Bridge into downtown. Southbound 167, that traffic is thick from State Route 18 to Sumner and around the curve into Puyallup. And southbound 405 slows from Southeast 8th in Bellevue down to 30th in Renton. Drive times, Seattle or Bellevue to Everett, rather. Both of those are close to 40 minutes. If you're heading south, Bellevue to Renton, 22 minutes. Renton to Puyallup, now 45 minutes. Seattle to Tacoma, also 45 minutes. And Tacoma to Olympia through JBLM, that's about 35 minutes. I'm Ted Beaner with KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic.
I'm telling you something. I have become like the guy to talk to everybody about stem cell. I was on a plane flying back yesterday, just talking about that. This guy next to me is complaining about his back and his hip, and I was like, oh, I had the same sort of problem. Telling to the guy in the middle seat in 17B or whatever it was. I said, I got stem cell. So I'm talking kind of loud because, you have to talk kind of loud on the plane. And this guy in front of us goes, I was going to get that. How's it work? And I started explaining how stem cells work. They go in and they repair the damaged area. I didn't know where they were from, but I said, you got to go see Dr. Mark Wagner. And then at that point, I just launched into my commercial. I go, look, I had a bad hip. I was going to have to get surgery. And then the doctor said, you got to wait a couple of years because you're too young for surgery. So I went to go see Dr. Mark Wagner over there at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. And he said, listen, I looked at the MRIs, I looked at the x-rays. This is going to be good for you. And he's done about 20,000 of these procedures. And after that, after the procedure, it's been, I think, 4 or 5 weeks now, I feel great. So if you have a bad shoulder or an elbow or an ankle, or they say your knees are bone on bones, before surgery, do what I did and go see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. That's Dr. Mark Wagner, MD.
Touchdown! Seahawks!
Another dominant performance. Winners of 4 in a row.
What a game. Come on now. Touchdown! Seahawks! And guess who? Jackson Smith and Jigba.
What we're building here, we all feel like we have something special.
Mike McDonald walked into Lumen Field yesterday and said, let me get my belt.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, the home of the Seahawks.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that. And third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
When you walked through your kitchen this morning, what'd you see? Did it make you happy? Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Well, I want to make you happy. We'll custom build you all new cabinet doors and drawer fronts, and using our exclusive 1/4-inch solid wood refacing process, transform your existing cabinets into a beautiful new kitchen. Add a custom quartz countertop, change things up a bit, add some more cabinets, install some cool new features like soft close drawers and sliding shelves, whatever you like. We'll help you to create the new kitchen you'll be proud of. All in about a week, and all with way less mess, hassle, time, and expense than to tear out. Stop waiting. For 18 years, we've been honored to serve thousands of happy customers, and we'd love to serve you. Call today and I'll get one of our pros to come out and show you how easy and comfortable it'll be to get going on your new kitchen. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most, that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense, and that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family is banking on bandwidth. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger. But your Wi-Fi? It would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity. Imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
I'm Macy House with Baird Global Investment Banking. In today's markets, global financial capabilities aren't worth much without personal attention to your priorities. Baird Banking, Research, and Private Equity professionals are located across 3 continents, sharing more than investment expertise. As employee owners of our firm, we all have a personal stake in your success, here in the Pacific Northwest and around the world. Discover the Baird difference. Visit rwbaird.com/Seattle.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. The U.S. Senate is still on track for a final vote later tonight to end the government shutdown. CBS's Wei Zhang has reaction from President Trump.
The White House is optimistic because they continue to blame the Democrats, and President Trump himself said that he was supporting the current bill because says it does not include an extension of those health care subsidies.
Those tax credits are the main reason why Washington U.S. Senator Patty Murray says she is opposed to the compromise bill.
In this package, Republicans have yet to address the health care crisis families are facing right now, a crisis that gets harder to fix every single day. I will be voting no.
The measure does include the promise of a vote next month to extend Obamacare subsidies. 8 Democrats are said to be on board. That's enough to pass the measure. It will still need approval from the House. As the government shutdown continues, meantime, air traffic is still being reduced with 57 cancellations today at SeaTac Airport. More from KIRO Newsradio's Frank Lindsay.
Despite the shutdown, SEA's Perry Cooper says wait times at the checkpoints are fairly normal, about 8 to 13 minutes.
Kudos to all of our local TSA and FAA workers who have shown up and done their job since October 1st without getting paid.
Cooper tells Gia and Ursula you can help those unpaid workers by dropping off donations at the SEA Conference Center mezzanine between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. The airport needs non-perishable foods, toiletries like toothpaste, and they really need diapers. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
An Everett-based toy maker says its future is in jeopardy due to rising costs and tariffs. Funko warns there is substantial doubt it can stay afloat over the next year without new funding or a buyer. Its latest earnings report shows Funko posted a $1 million loss in the third quarter. Costco is recalling almost 1 million bottles of Prosecco.
The Consumer Product Safety Commission says there are at least 10 reports that bottles of Kirkland brand signature Prosecco Valdabiadene have shattered even when not in use. At least one laceration injury resulted. More than 940,000 bottles of the Valdabiadene Prosecco sold in green bottles with purple foil are affected. The CPSC warns don't try to open it and wrap it in paper towels or put it in plastic bags to dispose of it. The same product was recalled by Costco back in September. Michael Toscano, CBS News.
Takes us to 3:32 when we have Ted Beener tonight at the real-time traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. The earlier crash on northbound 405 near the West Valley Highway cleared about 15 minutes ago, and the backups onto I-5 and 518 are recovering. Also, westbound State Route 18 is also slowly recovering from an earlier crash on the southbound I-5 ramp, and that backup is to near State Route 18, but it is improving. Elsewhere, there are areas of slowing on both directions of I-5 from the Ship Canal Bridge into downtown. Southbound I-5, that's slow from the Duwamish curve to State Route 516, and again from State Route 16 to 512. Southbound 167 is solid from State Route 18 to Sumner and around the curve into Puyallup. And southbound 405 has got scattered brake lights from Southeast 8th down into the Renton curves. If you're heading north, northbound 405 slows from Totem Lake to 522. Northbound I-5 has got brake lights from Shoreline to 164th and Linwood, and again from the Boeing Freeway to Marine View Drive. Drive times, Bellevue to Renton, 23 minutes. Renton to Puyallup on 167. That's about 45 minutes. Seattle to Tacoma, also 45 minutes. And Tacoma to Olympia is 35 minutes. Heading north, Seattle or Bellevue, both of those are close to 45 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Ted Beener.
Much of the region is staying dry tonight. Your forecast brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Tomorrow, Veterans Day also looks nice. Showers will return, however, by Wednesday evening. Right now, looking at 61 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Home Comfort Alliance when it comes to heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. It's homecomfortalliance.com. Nice. Thank you. Makes it much easier to do those when you get that upbeat coming out of it. Aaron broadcast. Ponderous. Ponderous. All right, here we go with the John Curley Show. Those of you, Tina, you ready to go? Here come those text messages. 1-888-977. Okay, thank you. 1-888-973-5476. 1-888-973-5476. This day in history. If you skip them all, just get right to the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. All right, 1775, the birth of the U.S. Marine Corps. Semper Fi to Big Dave out there. Sergeant Hockett.
Hoorah.
Who normally sends me a scolding text message. What, you're not going to mention the Marines, Semper Fi? Happy birthday to the Marines.
Boom, done.
Didn't get one from him today yet.
1903,
Mary Anderson patents the windshield wiper.
Ooh.
How about it? Look at Mary. 1969, Sesame Street debuts. 1975, the USS Edmund Fitzgerald suddenly sinks in Lake Superior. I would say suddenly. It wasn't like all of a sudden it went down. I mean, there's a whole bunch of other problems. Gordon Lightfoot was coming back from California to Toronto. He happened to see a little news wire that was reported by a journalist who happened to be walking by a church in Detroit when he heard the church bells ring 29 times. The journalist went in and said to the Reverend Engels, why are you ringing the bells? This was on November 11th. He said, well, 29 lives were lost, the Edmund Fitzgerald. So this reporter then wrote the story about the church that keeps track and the church that rings the bells. It is it's known as the Mariners Church there in Detroit. So that's the little piece that was read by Gordon Lightfoot on the plane coming back from California. And with that, it sparked his imagination as to the Edmund Fitzgerald. And then he started to do some research on it to get a better understanding of what the ship was all about. Then he took him about a week to write it. They had just finished their album. They recorded all the songs, and the producer was there, said, guys, you still have some time on the books if you want to just record something else. You paid for, 8 hours. You still have time. So Gordon was like, well, let's do this ballad I wrote about the ship of the Edmund Fitzgerald. It's long. It's going to be like 5:57. Let's do that. The drummer said to Gordon, because they hadn't rehearsed it at all, when do you want me to come in? And Gordon said, well, I'll just nod. When I nod to you, you come in with the drums. They recorded the entire thing in one take. That was it. They went back to fix up a few things, but the whole thing, the main song, everything was all done in one take. And they say that's like one of these magical moments. Hardly anything is ever done in one take. They recorded it. He had sort of finished writing most of it. There's no refrain in the song. And it made it to number 1 in Canada. I think it made it all the way to number 2 in the United States. It's a very, very long song. But it's one of these songs where people that hear it, my son's friend Kai cries, who never heard the song before, but every time he hears it, he cries about they would have made it to Whitefish Bay if they put 15 miles behind them.
Wow.
The story is that the Edmund Fitzgerald and then also the Anderson, which was another freighter, was out there at the time, and a giant storm blew up. No one had ever seen anything like this before. Winds at 85 miles an hour. The waves were 40 feet high. At one point, they think there was 12 feet of water on the deck of the Anderson as well as on the Edmund Fitzgerald. They were communicating back and forth. The Edmund Fitzgerald's radar had gone out, so they contacted the Anderson and said, hey, can you please see where we are on your radar and direct us either to the lighthouse that was there or just get us to Whitefish Bay, because then once we get in there, we'll be okay. So the Anderson ship was talking to the Edmund Fitzgerald to let them know where they were at the time and trying to get them a little closer to Whitefish Bay. Here we go. It's a little bit of where are we picking up from?
This is exactly halfway through.
All right. No refrain.
Does anyone know where the love of God goes when the waves turn the minutes to hours? The searchers all say they'd have made Whitefish Bay if they'd put 15 more miles behind her.
That's where Kai starts to cry.
They might have split up or they might have capsized. They may have broke deep and took water.
Yeah,
All that remains is the faces and the names of the wives and the sons and the daughters.
Go to the very beginning. I want to see when the drummer decides to come in. I love that. Then the captain came in. Fellas, the cook comes in and says, fellas, it's too rough to feed you. And then the captain comes in and says, fellas, it's been good to know you. They don't have any of the actual, they have some transcripts back and forth between the Anderson and the Edmund Fitzgerald and a Swedish freighter that was also out there. But all the sort of stuff in between, Gordon had to kind of make up along the way. And by the way, he also got it wrong. They were not going to, they were bound for Detroit, not Cleveland.
Right.
But anyway, here we go.
When the ship's bell rang, could it be the north wind they'd been feeling?
Here it comes. Gordon's gonna nod to him.
There we go.
The wind and the wires made a tattletale sound, and the wave broke over the railing.
I know some of the words.
And every man knew as the captain did too, 'twas the witch of November come stealing.
This song saved me. I was doing the Grammy Awards, Music Cares, the night before the Grammys. They have a fundraiser. There were 3,000 people there, and nobody cared about the auction. They didn't even have bid paddles. And I was up on stage, and I was completely bombing. And then, what's her name? Hannah Montana. What's her?
Miley Cyrus?
Yeah, Miley Cyrus is like, just sell it to me. Just sell me the item. I said, I can't sell it to you. You have to keep bidding. And she didn't quite figure it all out. I said, go ask your stepmother or your whatever godmother, Dolly Parton, whether we can double the item. So she walks over, like taking forever to get there. I said, well, we're trying to figure that out. I'm going to sing this classic sea shanty that's 11 minutes long. Feel free to sing along with me. So I played the music, and the audience, because they're all musicians and stuff, they all sang along.
Oh, that's fun.
At the very beginning, it was great.
How about that?
Yeah, it was all right.
Do you have a lyric sheet or something?
No, I knew the first verse. Go to the first verse. The first verse, here we go. I said, so I'll just sing this classic sea shanty, and you can all sing along with me. Here we go. The legend lives on.
The legend lives on from the chip on down to the big lake they call Gitchigumi. The lake, it is said, never gives a bird. The sky is a November turn gloomy.
See, I'm with you.
Fish.
Going north, 1,000 pounds more. And Fitzgerald weighed empty. I'm with it.
You had backup singers. That must have.
I haven't sung it in a while.
You and Kate Stone, who used to be one of our reporters,
we
randomly went into it and freestyled essentially the
I
whole
used to
song.
know the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the captain came in. Fellas, it's been good to know you.
And now you know.
I don't know. Did we really do the story? Did people learn anything? It's all going to be on the test.
Okay.
All right, Ted Beaner's hanging on every single word and watching every single car. What's happening out there?
You know that tune? I have about 60 popular weather tunes, and that is one of them right there. All right. Traffic backups continue to recover on northbound 405 near the West Valley Highway, where a crash is long gone, and the same on westbound State Route 18 on the southbound I-5 ramp. Otherwise, areas of slowing include northbound I-5. That's got braking from the Boeing Freeway to Marine View Drive. Northbound 405 is stacked up from Northeast 85th into Canyon Park. Both directions of I-5 are sluggish from the U District into downtown. And southbound I-5 crawls at times from the Duwamish Curve to 516 and now from State Route 18 to the Puyallup River. Southbound 167 traffic is pretty thick from State Route 18 to Sumner and around the curve into Puyallup. Southbound 405 slows from Southeast 8th into Newcastle. The Narrows Bridge and the Lake Bridges, though, are doing pretty well. Drive time, Seattle or Bellevue to Everett, both of those are close to 45 minutes. Heading south, Bellevue to Renton is 20 minutes. Renton to Puyallup, 45 minutes. Seattle to Tacoma, not too bad at 45 minutes. And Tacoma to Olympia through JBLM is 38 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Ted Beaner.
I'll tell you, I know what it's like. You watch the hair begin to thin, the crown disappears, and that hair loss just starts to kind of rob you of your identity. That's exactly how I felt before I visited Advanced Hair, because, see, Advanced Hair has got this simple one-day treatment, and they regrew my own natural hair, and they can do the exact same thing for you. Because if you notice that your hair is going away, and by the way, I've got news for you, it's not coming back, you have a couple of choices to make. You can just go bald, shave your head, whatever you want, a toupee or hats or something like that. Or, well, let's face it, what you really want is your hair back. Your own hair back. So you can set up a free consultation. They'll knock off $250. They'll give you 250 free hair grafts at 425-449-8185. And you don't want to wait, because your own natural hair is guaranteed to grow. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. That's 2 years in a row. So give them a call at 425-449-8185 or visit them online at advancedhair.com.
And here is lefty Lenny Wilkins.
Remembering the legendary Lenny Wilkens.
Lenny Wilkens first suited up for the Sonics in 1968.
Head coach of Seattle's first champion.
And the Supersonics win their first ever NBA championship.
Icon in the community.
We're a better community when we take time to recognize one another.
Thanks, Coach. From a grateful city and KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Are you looking at senior living options for you or a loved one? If so, you likely have many questions like, what can I afford? How long will my savings last? And if I run out of money, will I have to move out? If these questions are weighing on you, I'm here to talk you through different solutions. Hi, I'm Amanda from Care Partners Senior Living. At Care Partners, we're focused on offering high-quality, compassionate care at very affordable prices to help stretch and preserve your assets. And if you ever run out of funds and need to convert to Medicaid, you won't have to move. We have vibrant communities throughout Western Washington, Spokane, and Arizona offering independent, assisted living, and memory care. Our caregivers are some of the most loving and genuine people you'll ever meet. Stretch your assets, preserve your estate, and never worry about moving. That's peace of mind in the Care Partners Living Difference. Learn more at carepartnersliving.com. Care Partners is excited to announce our newest communities in Port Orchard, Sumner, Snohomish, and North Creek Bothell. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
Hartley here from Wilcox Family Farms. I'm so excited to have my cousin Amelia with me today. So, how many chickens do you think there are on the farm?
3,000?
What do you think chickens eat?
Grass.
What else?
Seed.
So, do you know what organic eggs are?
The ones that you put in brownies?
Yes, the ones you put in brownies.
We hope you choose fresh eggs from our family farm.
Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh
since 1909.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Are your investment dollars working as hard as they should be? You've spent years building your future. Don't let outdated advice put it at risk. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. We're a veteran-owned firm proud to bring a new standard of financial care to the Seattle area. Our nationally recognized advisors are fiduciaries, ethically bound to put your interests first. That's the highest standard of care in the industry. As a privately held company, we answer to you, our valued clients, not shareholders. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a customized plan. From Bellevue to Tacoma, get advice you can count on. It's time to take a fresh look at your financial plan. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-656-3300. That's 206-656-3300. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Guys, it's time to know your numbers and what they mean. And right now, Revive Men's Health is offering a $400 comprehensive wellness panel for just $99. Free if you start treatment. Offer ends November 30th. Book today at ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin and regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
All right, for those of you following along with local elections, and Randy, Pebble said that Katie Wilson's going to win, right? So we're waiting for the next big ballot drop at 4 o'clock.
I like dump better.
All right, well, too bad. Switch it over to drop. Because that's still outstanding. That's mainly the one that people want to know about, right?
Yes, that's the
Everything
big one.
else
That's
is
the too close to call.
Right, because you now have your King County executive.
And there's still 115,000 uncounted votes in King County. I'm not sure what percentage of that is Seattle, but
And if it's within 2,000, they have to do a recount, and that has to be, then they grab, I think, 56% of them and then count them by hand. It'll be interesting to see if they count them by hand, how many of these activists that don't like the fact that Jim Walsh is saying, hey, let's tighten up our elections and just make sure you have an ID. Let's make sure that we don't have anybody in there voting that shouldn't vote. It'll be interesting to see if all of a sudden, wait a minute, who's this guy? What country is he from? Is he a citizen? Throw his vote out, right? The Farmer's Almanac has been being printed since 1818. That's the thing you'd go for all sorts of advice on how to fish and then when to plant your peas. Does anybody know when to plant peas? Anybody? Anyone? Oh. When the first dandelion appears, that tells you that's the time to plant peas.
Huh.
Red skies at night?
Sailor take flight.
All right. No, red skies at night.
Sailor take flight.
And red skies at morning. Sailors take warning.
Yeah, right.
Red skies at night.
Sailors delight.
Thank you, Andrew.
That's what I said.
Red skies at morning. Sailors take warning.
Right.
Listen, it's going away. Forget it. You're lost. You're not going to know what to do. You'd be planting your peas at night.
I know.
Okay. The Farmer's Almanac said that they were 82% correct. University of Illinois came along and was like, I don't think so. You're only 52% correct on your predictions about the weather. But it was sort of a go-to fun thing you'd pick up. It had all sorts of little odds and ends, bits and pieces about, how to preserve peaches or, what's it mean if a squirrel's tail is extra fluffy.
Ooh.
All this stuff. Now it's gone. And when the two editors said, just because of chaotic media, whatever that's supposed to be, that means nobody reads stuff anymore. Right. Nobody buys the book, but the last one will be printed. You can buy it on Amazon. The 2026 edition will be coming out. And then that's it for the Farmer's Almanac.
What does it mean if a squirrel's tail is
extra fluffy? Was a extra cold winter.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was my go-to when I was a weatherman because I didn't have any science knowledge.
Yeah.
I was always pulling out the Farmer's Almanac and just giving
fun facts.
Fun facts. Yeah. I'm sure the farmers, when I was in Champaign-Urbana, Illinois, the weather was 6 minutes and 20 seconds long. I'd give the first part, and then it said, we'll have more right after these words from Ford, Holland, New Holland. Yeah. With all they sold all the, machinery stuff. We come back, and I'm like, I don't know what. I got 3 more minutes. What the hell am I going to talk about? Squirrels' tails.
Uh-huh.
The farmer's like, just give us the dew point, you moron. All right, Ted Beaner knows what it's like when you don't yell out the dew point, right? Huh? Remember those days?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's all about relative humidity, right?
Oh, yeah. There you go.
All right, this traffic report is brought to you by Seattle Sports. Well, both directions of I-5 pretty sluggish from the U District into downtown. Southbound I-5 from the Duwamish Curve to State Route 516, pretty sluggish. And again from State Route 18 to the Puyallup River. Southbound 167's got scattered slowing from 405 to Willis and is solid from State Route 18 to Sumner and around the curve into Puyallup. Southbound 405 comes up from Southeast 8th into Newcastle. Now, if you're heading north, northbound 405 slows from 85th into Canyon Park. Northbound I-5 has got brake lights from Shoreline to 164th and again from the Boeing Freeway to Marine View Drive. Drive times, Bellevue to Renton, that's actually east a bit to 20 minutes. Renton to Puyallup, that is now 50 minutes. Seattle to Tacoma also 50 minutes. And Tacoma to Olympia through JBLM is 40 minutes. Heading north, Seattle or Bellevue to Everett, both of those are around 40 minutes. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial at 97.3 HD2. I'm Ted Biener with KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic.
Seattle's morning news.
Hi, I'm Charlie Hart.
And I'm Amanda Factor. Another round of ballots dropped.
Join us tomorrow for the latest on the race for Seattle mayor.
What needs to happen for the government to reopen? We'll ask New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold about that.
He's also covering the decline of the country's biggest environmental organization. What has happened to the Sierra Club?
All the day's news, traffic, and weather, 5 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News.
We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Hey, Brock Ewart here with Shannon O'Kelly, President and CEO of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy, inviting you to come work with IRG. And Shannon, what kind of staff are you looking for at IRG?
Brock, we're looking for all kinds of clinical staff, physical therapists, occupational therapists, athletic trainers, certified occupational therapy technicians, physical therapy assistants, you name it on the clinical side. We are looking for those folks. But we are really looking for folks that want to come to an organization that want to be part of our culture and change the culture and work with us to provide the best care and service we can to our patients, our team, and our community. So those clinical people out there, we're looking for you. We also provide advanced certification. We want to provide you mentorship. We want you to grow personally and professionally here at IRG.
And with over 40 clinics throughout the Pacific Northwest, you've got the opportunity to work in the city you want. Just head over to irgpt.com/careers. That's irgpt.com/careers.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
The Jake and Spike Show.
If you guys are not watching on YouTube, you're missing the sight.
Weekdays, noon to 3.
Luke Ducey joining us now in studio. People think he's a handsome fella. Welcome to the show, Luke.
I thank you for saying that.
Well, I didn't say it. People in the audience say it.
Well, you're why we got the new cameras and lighting.
Nice.
They weren't doing that for us. Are you wearing like pancake makeup?
Like Edward Cullen. I've been tanning.
Now, Edward's, is he the
He's a vampire.
Vampire from
Skin
Twilight, right?
In the sun.
Watch the Jake and Spike Show live on YouTube or the KIRO Newsradio app.
Do the holiday parties, tailgating, and family get-togethers have your liver working overtime? Let Active Liver help give your liver some relief at Amazon or VitaCost, CVS, Meijer Grocery, or ShopRite.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
Senate starts votes on government funding bill.
We'll be opening up our country very quickly.
At major airports nationwide,
it's one travel nightmare story after another.
Landmark same-sex marriage decision.
The Supreme Court decided not to take this case.
This is the CBS World News Roundup Late Edition. I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Senate lawmakers reach a compromise deal to reopen the government and have started a series of procedural votes. President Trump saying,
we have support from enough Democrats, and we're going to be opening up our country.
7 Democrats and 1 independent joined Republicans in voting for the measure. House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries.
I don't have much to say about those individuals, and they're going to have to explain themselves to their constituents and to the American people.
The final version of the bill would extend government funding through January 2026. Air travelers are feeling the pain as flights are being decreased again at major airports due to the short staffing. CBS's Meg Oliver at Newark Airport.
Everyone that I have talked to today was supposed to fly out yesterday. I met Anna Marie Hopkins earlier. She's trying to get to Rome for her 50th birthday.
Everybody got affected, and there was a lot of elderly that were affected that were lost.
Travelers are stressed, and that pain is spreading across the country. But airlines will continue to cut flights at 40 of the nation's busiest airports throughout the week until they reach that 10% number, unless the government resolves the shutdown.
Total cancellations within the U.S. are over 2,000, according to FlightAware. The Trump administration is again asking the Supreme Court to keep full food aid payments on hold. Allie Johnson and her husband felt a need to help those in central Iowa whose SNAP benefits have been suspended.
They've set up an emergency food pantry on the front porch of their home in Waukee, Iowa.
No questions asked. We trust you. Come get what you need. Feed your families. I think the need is actually greater than we even imagine.
The Johnsons estimate they've given away some $5,000 worth of donated food and household items. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
The Supreme Court rejects a bid to overturn a landmark same-sex marriage decision out of Kentucky. Loyola Law School professor Lori Levinson.
This case had sort of an unusual procedural history, and also it's really unclear that the Supreme Court even wants to revisit the question of same-sex marriages.
President Trump issues pardons to dozens of former aides, attorneys, and others, including Rudy Giuliani, who were involved in the effort to overturn the 2020 election results. CBS's Weijia Zhang.
Many of these people were not charged with federal crimes, but with state crimes instead. And the president only has the pardon authority for people who were charged with federal crimes.
Stocks jumped on Wall Street. Now this.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Take the next step forward in your career with great benefits and an award-winning workplace. Apply at careers.progressive.com.
Just in, the very latest ballot count in Seattle's race for mayor. That's after Ted Biener at the real-time traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. This traffic report is brought to you by ProSculpt. Traffic volumes are lighter than usual, and knock on wood, there are no reported blocking issues. Both directions of I-5 are sluggish, though, from Ravenna into downtown. Southbound I-5 bogs down from the Duwamish curve to State Route 516, and again from State Route 18 to the Puyallup River. Southbound 167 has got scattered slowing from 405 to Willis and is solid from State Route 18 into Sumner and around the curve into Puyallup. And southbound 405 crawls from Southeast 8th into Newcastle. Now, if you're heading north, northbound 405 slows from 85th into Canyon Park. And northbound I-5, that's got brake lights from Shoreline to 164th and again from near Broadway to Marine View Drive. Some drive times, Seattle or Bellevue to Everett, both of those are now a little bit better now, close to 40 minutes. Heading south, Bellevue to Renton is 22 minutes, Renton to Puyallup 50 minutes, Seattle to Tacoma also 50 minutes, and Tacoma to Olympia through JBLM, that is 40 minutes. ProSculpt, the one-day permanent fat loss and skin tightening solution for men and women, offered by New Skin Med Spa in Bellevue. Book your free consultation at prosculpt.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Ted Beater.
KIRO News Radio, breaking news.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. The script just flipped in the race for Seattle mayor. The latest round of results showing Katie Wilson leads the incumbent, Bruce Harrell, by just 91 votes. Republican political strategist Randy Pepple telling Seattle's Morning News it is not official yet, but
I still do think that Katie Wilson's going to emerge the victor. I think right now the question is whether it's going to be a recount.
King County election still has an estimated 10,000 ballots left to count in that race. Meantime, King County Executive-elect Girmay Zahalai is preparing to take over his new office November 25th. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch reports.
At just 38 years old, Girmay Zahalai is the youngest person ever elected King County executive. He's also the first immigrant and the first refugee to hold the office. Because of his past, Zahalai says he is sensitive to the needs of marginalized communities, but plans to serve the needs of all of King County.
Safer communities, more affordable housing, better health, and a government that earns your confidence every day.
Zahalai officially takes office November 25th. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
A former Pierce County Sheriff's Office major pleads not guilty today to 2 counts of vehicular assaults DUI. Prosecutors say Chad Dickerson caused a July crash in Graham that injured a family of 6. Dickerson remains free under strict conditions, including no alcohol and no contact with victims. A jury trial is set for January. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey now remembers a basketball legend in Seattle.
Former Rainier Beach player and current Sacramento Kings coach Doug Christie broke down Sunday night speaking about the godfather of Seattle basketball.
Lenny probably doesn't even know that without him I'm not here, so a lot of blessings.
Wilkins first suited up for the Sonics in 1968, an all-star 3 times in 4 seasons.
And here is lefty Lenny Wilkins, number 19.
Then returned to coach the team to its only NBA championship in 1979. He passed away surrounded by loved ones at 88 years old. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
And repeating our breaking news this hour in the race for Seattle mayor, new results are out. They show Katie Wilson now leading the incumbent Bruce Harrell 49.83% to 49.79%. Your forecast brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. For tonight, we are looking at mostly cloudy skies, but staying dry. Same for tomorrow with highs once again in the, actually tomorrow looks cooler, highs in the low to mid 50s. Right now, 60 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show. Please. Thank you.
Just give us the 2 point, you moron!
Good one, Andrew. That's nice. A little recall for you kids still listening. All right, here we go. John Curley Show, diving into the news. It is into the news. 1-888-973-5476. Boy, old newsman Aaron was very nervous there before the big news drop.
I know.
It happened. All right. So how many votes apart?
91 votes.
91. All right. Wow. So there's another drop. How many votes still outstanding?
Tomorrow. So I think it's estimated at about 10,000 left. In today's count, it was about 39,000 in today's dump. On Friday, they said there was about 50,000 left to count. So roughly 10.
All right.
Ooh. Yeah.
Wow.
No. Republican strategist Randy Pepple said that he still thinks that Wilson wins, those late votes coming in. So this will automatically, let's assume, is going to be a recount. But the 2,000 votes is a recount. Here's what happens sometimes. They look at your ballot and you're like, what's that signature? Seems sort of weird. Somebody else then has to that person then hands it off to somebody else who's a little bit more advanced in the training. And then if they can't, they determine, well, I don't know about that. They'll contact you if you have given them a phone number or your email or whatever saying, hey, can we just verify this? They might try to do it over the phone, or they might send you an indicator saying, we still need you to verify that this is you. The deadline is up to the 24th of November at 4:30 p.m. to make the determination, is that legitimately a ballot? Who is the person and who do they intend to vote for? So they'll do the recount on this. The most famous recount in the state of Washington was Gregoire and Rossi. How long did that thing take?
7 weeks.
7 weeks. Until finally they found a whole bunch of ballots under somebody's desk, I think. Wasn't that what it was?
It was trunk of somebody's car.
Yes, it wasn't somebody's car. Yeah. Oh, here. How many does Gregoire need? Back the car up. Oh, boy. All right. So that's some exciting news there, huh? You're all tingly over there, Aaron?
Yeah, it was exciting. Ooh. Yeah, the results came down like 2 minutes before the newscast.
Look at that.
Quick math on the phone.
Yep.
I helped.
Very exciting.
I helped.
And Joe helped?
Yeah.
Washington, the Supreme Court has determined to take a case this year, and they'll make the final ruling in June. It is the Republican National Committee and the Libertarians of Mississippi. Who knew? They said, listen, it's not fair that you're counting ballots that are coming in after Election Day. Yes, maybe if it's postmarked on Election Day, but you're still counting it. So they're asking the Supreme Court to rule on, is it okay to count those ballots after the election? And this is where it gets into the Supreme Court basically lets each state set up its own rules, but the main rule that everybody works under the federal law is Election Day is that Tuesday, second Tuesday in November. That's it. Some states, I think like 30 states, allow mail-in ballots and when they count them. And then it gets into, it got here later, but you sent it in. We still count that? So the folks from the NRC and the Mississippi Libertarians, I'm sure there's like 4 of them, said, no, it's the election is that day. That's the day. You count them. That's it. No more of this other shenanigans going on there. Got it?
More at 5.
Yes. So, yeah, another one? Yes. All right. In the meantime, all right, Roller found himself. Wow, look at you. What a good-looking young man you are. You must have a very good-looking father and mother, huh?
How do I actually look? I don't know.
It looks way better.
Really good.
Yeah. Okay.
Could have shaved, but other than that. All right, so listen, you got a chance to go to the game. Where'd you sit?
Really great seats. 50-yard line, a few rows back. I was with the girlfriends of the Arizona Cardinals.
Wow. What was that like?
Yeah. They didn't really care. Although one of them, Zay Jones, a receiver, tore his Achilles, and I was sitting right next to his girlfriend and baby, and that was sad.
Wow.
So you kind of had to, maybe cool it a little bit on the chanting and the hooting and hollering.
From the sound of your voice, it sounds like you didn't cool it on the hooting and the hollering.
No, well, just being nice. I'm always going to be loud. Sometimes I'll be mean and loud, but I just didn't feel right being mean.
Right.
Sitting with these people.
Let me ask you, because you and I, when we went to the game last year, you were disappointed in the fans not standing, that the 12th man has sort of become more of the rich guy sitting the whole time drinking, $15 beers. What did you notice of the game on Sunday?
Well, yesterday was great. No surprise the team was 6-2 going into the game, now 7-2. That's always going to have probably the biggest impact on it is how good is the team. And I don't blame when the team is 3-5 or 4-4. I don't blame maybe your average fan for not wanting to spend $500, or maybe your average season ticket holder for wanting to get $500 for selling their tickets. I think Arizona, there's kind of a unique connection between Seattle and Phoenix as like cities. They're sort of like sister cities in a way. There's a lot of like crossover. A lot of people from Seattle live in Phoenix, but there was not a lot of red there. It was all blue and the crowd was really loud. Of course it got out of hand. So like people weren't standing the whole time, but it was wonderful. And I think it shows maybe a microcosm of just how pumped up people are for this team and this new regime.
You made a bold prediction. I don't want to quote you, but it was that this team has everything. This team, did you say it was better than the 2012 team?
No, the best sense is what I would say. Meaning it just seems to be, I don't know, like there was always, Russell Wilson covered up for a lot. Right. In those years, I think of like 2017, I think he led our team in rushing yards. Russell Wilson did. Like, that's terrible. Right. And the offensive line was always awful, but he could sort of cover up for a lot of that. The offensive inefficiencies, Russell would help. Right. And then there were other years where we would make the playoffs and there was just small, like whether it was coaching, I remember the let Russ cook year. By the way, people that were on board, I didn't forget about you. You're still out there and you're still at large. But like, I haven't forgotten. You should still be embarrassed. But the let Russ cook year, we get into the playoffs and like the offense just seemed really disjointed. This year, it seems like there's such a solid foundation. And this defense is starting to take shape. Mike McDonald got hired because of what he did with the Ravens, like how crazy that defense was. It was so hard to play against. Nobody knew what was going on. And his big thing, he's a man full of cliches, even he would say that. But I think it's relentless, shocking, and decisive. I think those are his three things. And when you're up 35-0 in the second quarter, I mean, that's relentless and shocking. So it was unbelievable. And playing just complimentary ball where the Cardinals never even could dig in that game. Their head coach said after the game, he's like, I don't know. You roll out of bed and it was 21-0. And we hadn't even been able to like run any offense or get into our stuff or play any defense because it's just this tidal wave coming at you. I thought it was beautiful. And I had to tell Nicole, I had to lean over. I was like, by the way, it's not usually like this. This isn't normal, you know? Okay.
By the way, you also had a chance to experience not only the drama on the field, but occurring just one row behind you, where it is the weird social etiquette of the guy in front is going to stand. Paid the money for the tickets. He's a Seahawks fan. He's used to standing. You stand the whole game. You scream the entire time. Well, the guy sitting behind the guy standing had to somehow, I guess, in a diplomatic way, let the guy know, hey, we can't see, right? You're standing, and by the way, we have this game in hand. You might want to sit down.
Yeah, I felt bad. Because I understand both sides of it. Like you said, the guy pays the money, he's going to stand. But, you know, it's 41 to, 12 at that time? 41 to 14. Maybe, and I'm someone who's a very passionate fan, but I'm also almost to a fault considerate of the people around me when I'm like going to these things. Like I will, even when I go to and I usually only go to like one game a year, I'll end up like missing a couple plays because I don't want to stand because the people in front of me aren't standing. And it's that delicate balance of like, the people in front of me aren't standing, so I can't stand, right? I can only stand when the people are in front of me, so then I have a proper excuse for the people behind me.
Yes.
But this one guy, he was standing the entire time. Big, sort of grotesque man, sort of unapologetically being annoying. And he's screaming and yelling, and this guy sitting to my left, not dating a player on the Cardinals, just a guy, he was getting really upset, but he was sort of polite and gentle, and he didn't have the gall of like maybe an East Coast sports fan where it's like just grab the guy's shirt and just yank on it down front. So he's trying to like get a crowd with him to like, he's looking around, he's talking to his girlfriend. He's like, this is infuriating. He's like trying to get people on his side. And then eventually he works up the courage to say something, but the guy just totally brushes him off. Just like, oh, whatever, you can stand up too. But he was then like, well, I'm worried about the elderly and the kids behind me, you know? So he's like, you know, doing that move to try to get some sympathy points. It's like, dude, there's 70,000 people here, you know? What are you trying to you're trying to run for office right now, talking about the elderly. But I gave him some love on the way out because it clearly ruined his Seahawks experience.
Right, because you said at one point he turns to his girlfriend and goes, oh, my blood is boiling right now.
Yeah, it's just so sad.
Let's talk about the coach who you have a deep respect for and affection, Mike McDonald. He is what you really like about him is he's just a no-nonsense guy with an incredible mind for the defense and then understanding. I remember when they hired him and when people would talk about, really, we want to get a guy who knows defense. Well, look, if you can hold the other team to 0, you only need to score a field goal. Or if you hold the other team to 6, you just need 2 touchdowns, right? So the defense, the strength of the defense really is not something just to get out there just to, borrow time for the offense to get back out on the field. But if you can hold them, then your offense just needs to do just a little bit to get you a W, right? So you've always loved that about McDonald, and now he has set all these things up. Is he slacking at all in the offense?
No, and it's really not even his. Of course, he oversees the offense, but that's not his expertise. He's been a defensive guy since he got into coaching. Really his growth from just a regular dude to a head coach in the NFL is wild. He was a GA with the Georgia Bulldogs for a few years, then linebacker coach with the Ravens, then became a defensive coordinator with Michigan, back to the Ravens, defensive coordinator. Now he's head coach at Seattle Seahawks. Usually that's like 20, 30 years before somebody can get into this position. And when we hired him, because who is this guy? He's defensive coordinator for the Ravens. It's not a flashy hire. Especially you hire a defensive guy, it's not going to be flashy. But we have to, as fans, sort of put everybody in a box. Okay, what is this guy like? Is he a super rah-rah Dan Campbell, Mike Tomlin, or is he like a Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan? And everybody just said he's an X's and O's genius. He's a defensive guru. This guy is like knows football. He's the brilliant mind of football. Just wait till you see his defense play. But he made it a point, or at least I think he did. I'm speculating on his behalf. His first press conference, and every press conference he's ever done, they asked him about scheme, and he's like, guys, X's and O's don't matter, all right? It's the players, and it's the leadership, it's the communication, it's relating with these young men. The X's and O's don't matter. It's the people, and if we can communicate our message and our process onto the players. So I really like the way he's conducted himself as a leader of this team, and I think he's just so, like, you could go over and ask Brock and Sock, like, what he's like, because when you watch all these interviews with him, he's almost intentionally boring. He doesn't give you anything. He sort of is kind of taciturn. He won't. Some coaches just love hearing their own voice and let me explain all this and use this fancy stuff. He doesn't like doing that. And I just think he's a really solid dude. And now with the team sort of coming together and playing, we scored 14 points on defense yesterday.
Yeah.
Right. We scored 44 points. Sam Darnold threw the ball 12 times. That's beautiful. It's like, what? So I think we're all like, my friend texted me yesterday, I'm willing to hide a body for Mike McDonald right now. Like, people are getting behind this guy. It is amazing. And we love Pete too. It's not like, look at Pete over in Vegas, flailing. It's, we replaced the guy and we hit again. So it's a testament to Schneider or the ownership group that are hiring these coaches.
You happen to see, we found the cut from Mike McDonald chatting with a friend coming out of DC. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure he didn't expect this to go up and went up on Instagram. And as you say, the coach, doesn't give you a whole lot, non-emotional, right? But is there a curse word in here we need to be aware of?
None of the big seven, I don't think.
Andrew, on lookout.
Hey, Mike, you ain't forget the sign, though. It ain't the
So this is Mike's friend, comes up to him after the game, clearing out the parking lot, right?
first 48 is what? 60 minutes. That's right, man.
I was so pissed the last drive because we were giving up, rushing yards.
But y'all did good, though, man. Y'all did good.
No, we did good. We kicked their ass.
Yeah.
We smashed them guys.
So how you been, though? You good?
I'm good, man.
I might have to come take a
feels weird.
That's cool. Yeah, because the guy, because you don't ever hear him talk about that. Plus, coaches won't do that. They won't say it in public because it's not fair to the other coaches. I watched the press conference with the Arizona coach. Man, that guy, he seemed broken. All right, so we got the Rams coming up next. What do you think? Seahawks 7-2, Rams 7-2 as well. You seem to have some concern on your young face.
They are so good, and it's so annoying. Like, they've been good forever. Like, why can't this be our year? I don't know.
You want to think about it? You want to think about it? You just want to think about it for a while?
Let me think about it. Can you have me on Friday or something?
Can we fit him in on Friday?
I agree to that.
Okay, we can. All right.
I'll have a detailed answer.
By the way, and Brewster Bears end the season.
Yeah. Disappointing, heartbreaking loss.
Okay. Shout out to any receiver that dropped the ball in the end zone.
Jacob Pachowski, you're going to do great things in this world. Congrats on finishing out your high school career.
Rye Roller?
Yeah.
Thank you. Love.
Love.
Talking sports with Rye.
All righty. Let's check. Ted Biener's got to check in traffic. Teddy, please.
This traffic report is brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. On the 405 southbound on-ramp from Northeast Park, we've got a disabled vehicle that's partially blocking the ramp. Otherwise, we just got areas of slowing, and they include northbound I-5 Got some braking from Shoreline to 164th and again from near Broadway to Marine View Drive. Northbound 405 has got scattered slowing from Northeast 70th all the way into Canyon Park. Both directions of I-5 are sluggish from Ravenna into downtown. Southbound I-5 crawls at times from the Duwamish Curve to 516 and from State Route 18 to the Port of Tacoma Road. Southbound 167 traffic is pretty thick from 405 to 212 and from State Route 18 to Sumner and around the curve into Puyallup. And southbound 405 slows from Southeast 8th into Newcastle. Drive times, Bellevue to Renton is now 25 minutes. Renton to Puyallup on 167. That has grown to 55 minutes. Seattle to Tacoma is now an hour. And Tacoma to Olympia, that is 50 minutes. Heading north, Seattle or Bellevue to Everett, both of those are right around 40 minutes. For the first time ever, Lake Washington Windows and Doors is offering 0% interest for 60 months and 15% off new windows and doors. Visit lakewashingtonwindow.com today. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Ted Biener.
There is peace at the barn in Cle Elum because finally we have organization. Because what happened was Nick kept pointing out that the garage was an absolute mess because of all of my half-assed projects. And then she also mentioned that it's not very well organized in the master bedroom. With a really fancy house, you need to have a fancy closet. I was like, okay, you got me. You're breaking me down here. If you're going to hire a closet company, I don't want that one that everybody hires because I want to try to find somebody local. And if they're family run, they've been around for a while. She goes on the internet, comes up with Closets by Design. She goes, they're family run, they've been around for 22 years. I said, hire them. And the nice lady came out, sat with Nick from 10 to 3, and they completely designed a brand new closet. She took a look at the laundry room, and she goes, well, how about we build a cabinet for you and have it match the wood along the molding? And I was like, whoa. Like, this is custom. It'll come with a box of parts and jerry rig them in there. I thought it was going to be really expensive, but then I find out, wow, my goodness gracious, Closets by Design, 40% off, plus an additional 15% off, and 18 months financing and free installation. 1-800-BY-DESIGN. You can have closets, one organization, one piece in the house. 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's closetsbydesign.com.
And here is lefty Lenny Wilkins.
Remembering the legendary Lenny Wilkens.
Lenny Wilkens first suited up for the Sonics in 1968.
Head coach of Seattle's first champion.
And the Supersonics win their first ever NBA championship.
Icon in the community.
We're a better community when we take time to recognize one another.
Thanks, Coach. From a grateful city and KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Hey there, Dawn Riling with Olympic Hot Tub. When the weather outside is frightful, a hot tub or sauna is so delightful. Heat up the season and gift yourself year-round wellness from Olympic. A soak in a saltwater hot spring spa is pure bliss, the perfect escape at the end of the day. Or warm body and soul in a Tilo sauna, your ideal retreat. Heck, you deserve both. Our Heat Up the Season savings end November 23rd. Learn more at OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
For seniors, the holidays can be fun family time, but can also be a stressful time if you're struggling with bills. Our friend Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage says a reverse mortgage may be the holiday gift you're looking for.
Many seniors love their home but are struggling with mortgage payments and other bills. A reverse mortgage lets you tap your home equity for tax-free cash. You can pay off your debts and maybe put some extra money in the bank for peace of mind. You've worked hard for that home equity. Now let it work for you. And best of all, you'll have no mortgage payments the rest of your life.
And you always talk to a real person, not an AI robot.
That's right. You'll get a no-pressure consultation directly from me or a highly experienced senior advisor. Never a sales pitch and never, ever an AI bot.
Honest advice you can trust from the reverse mortgage experts, Best Mortgage, the VA loan experts, and debt consolidation specialists, too. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
The markets and the economy will change, but you should always know what you can rely on from your financial advisor. I'm John Ramsire with Baird Private Wealth Management in Seattle. With deep planning and investment expertise, Baird's financial advisors have guided individuals and families through changing markets for more than 100 years. And in all that time, our guiding principle has never changed. Our clients come first, always. Discover the Baird difference at rwbaird.com/Seattle.
Hey, Brock Ewart here. It's such a joy for me to be joined by Shannon O'Kelly, President and CEO of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Shannon, I've heard so much about traveling physical therapists. What's that mean to you and IRG?
That's a great question, Brock. Traveling physical therapy right now, I think, is a fad, and a lot of young therapists are doing it, but they're missing opportunities that we provide here at IRG. And those things we provide at IRG are really important, and that's being part of a team and treating patients, building relationships, engaging with our community. That is so important. The other thing is they're not getting paid time off. A crew are paid time off, and they do not get continuing education, professional growth, and that is so important as a young therapist to have access to professional growth. The other thing is we have an enhanced compensation program here at IRG that our physical therapists, our occupational therapists can increase their earnings by engagement, outcomes, and intervention. That's what we're all about. We're about building a great culture for young therapists and all clinicians to work here.
Openings across the whole company. Head over to irgpt.com/careers, irgpt.com/careers.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. There is a new frontrunner in the race for Seattle Mayor. Progressive challenger Katie Wilson has now taken a razor-thin lead over Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell. Just 91 votes separate them, with about 10,000 ballots still to count. The race is one of the closest in city history and could trigger a recount. President Trump is praising what he calls a good deal to end the government shutdown. The U.S. Senate is still on track to pass the measure that includes a promise to vote next month on extending those Obamacare subsidies.
We want a healthcare system where we pay the money to the people instead of the insurance companies. And I tell you, we're going to be working on that very hard.
Those tax credits are set to expire at the end of this year. Washington U.S. Senator Patty Murray.
There is simply no time left to kick the can down the road when it comes to saving the ACA tax credits.
Murray is a no vote on the compromise deal, but 8 other Democrats are on board. That's enough to pass the measure. It still needs House approval. SeaTac Airport remains fully operational despite the government shutdown. SEA's Perry Cooper says checkpoint wait times are running normal.
The cancellations that you're hearing and seeing about really are ones that the airlines have planned ahead, and they've done a really great job of getting a hold of travelers to say, hey, your flight's been canceled or been moved at this point, and alerting them before they get to the terminal, which is the whole goal.
According to FlightAware, airlines have canceled 57 flights today at SeaTac. 2 pitchers on the Cleveland Guardians have been indicted on bribery charges. KIRO News Radio's Heather Bosch reports they're accused of rigging pitches. Here, Emmanuel Clase will take over on the hill. The flamethrower here in the 4th. Here's the 3-2 strike, 3 call.
Cleveland Guardians pitchers Emmanuel Clase and Luis Ortiz have been indicted for allegedly taking bribes to give gamblers advance notice of the types of pitches they would throw. It's alleged that they would intentionally toss balls instead of strikes to ensure successful bets. Both have been on paid leave since July while being investigated. If convicted, they could spend decades in prison.
At 4:32 now, we go to the real-time traffic desk, and for Nate Connors tonight is Ted Beener.
Thanks, Aaron. On the 405 southbound on-ramp from Northeast Park, we've got a disabled vehicle that's partially blocking the ramp there. Elsewhere, got areas of slowing on both directions of I-5. They're pretty sluggish from Ravenna into downtown. Southbound I-5 bogs down from the Duwamish Curve to State Route 516, and again from State Route 18 to the Port of Tacoma Road. Southbound 167 stacks up at times from 405 to Northwest 15th, and is pretty solid from State Route 18 into Sumner and around the curve into Puyallup. And southbound 405 crawls at times from Southeast 8th into Newcastle, and now from the VMAC into the Renton curves. Now, if you're heading north, northbound 405 slows from Northeast 70th into Canyon Park. Northbound I-5 has got brake lights from Shoreline to 128th, and again from near Broadway to Marine View Drive. The Narrows Bridge and the Lake Bridges, they're doing pretty well. Drive times, Seattle to Everett, 40 minutes. Bellevue to Everett now is up to 50 minutes. Heading south, Bellevue to Renton, that has risen to a half hour. Renton to Puyallup is 53 minutes. Seattle to Tacoma, about an hour. And Tacoma to Olympia through JBLM, that is about 50 minutes. I'm Ted Beener with KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic.
Thank you, Ted. Your forecast brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors, drying into tomorrow morning with some patchy morning fog and some sun breaks for the afternoon. Rain returns later on Wednesday. Right now, 57 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
KIRO 7 News in the Morning brings you the most urgent headlines, the things you need to know before you head out the door. Just like you need that cup of coffee, they'll help you get your day started on the right foot. Live breaking news, KIRO 7 pinpoint weather, and KIRO 7 real-time traffic to help you avoid those back-to-school backups. Check in with KIRO 7 News in the Morning, 4:30 to 7 a.m., only on KIRO 7 TV.
Well said, well read, Joe. I like the little kind of raspy sound you got in your voice there.
Snickers.
It's like Joe made a Snickers run. I plowed through my. Look at you. Finish yours?
I know, I did. Too fast.
Okay.
Chowing down on it there.
Yeah. Bucky's Auto Service Centers. Take your car and your Snickers bars to Bucky's Auto Service Centers. They've got 16 locations. Been around for 50 years. Take the car to Bucky's Auto Service Centers. All right. We have our Trump sound. Here we go. This is for the people that love him, people that hate him. But music brings us all together.
Some say he's a savior, a beacon so bright. Others scream danger, they're ready to fight. Building up walls or tearing them down. A hero, a villain, a king or a clown. Love him or hate him, there's no in between. The loudest of dreams or the darkest of scenes. Making it great or breaking it all. The Trump administration's a wild free for all.
Came up with that dance on my own.
97.3.
Thank you there. Okay. All right, so a couple quick things that the president's talking about. One of them is a really bad idea. I guess they come in order of two. Let's do the first bad idea. Ooh. How about a 50-year mortgage? The problem is not the mortgage. The problem is the down payment. That doesn't help people because what it does is it just gives you 50 years. That gives you more chance of having bad stuff happen like divorce or sickness or something else that could occur, death, right? Plus, after 10 years, you go to sell the house, you only get about $38,000 worth of equity. If you have a shorter mortgage, a 30-year mortgage, you get more equity out of the whole thing. So it doesn't help you at all. It's just a bad move because it's not the mortgage. If you did the mortgage, you save about $200 a month for a 50-year mortgage. But the additional cost when it comes to the interest is almost, I wrote it all down, figured out, $335,000 additional mortgage interest that you'd be paying on the thing. You're just holding it out longer. It's like, you buy a car, 6 years. Anytime anybody buys a car and you're paying interest on a car, it's a stupid idea to pay interest on a depreciating asset. You bought the car for $50,000, took you 6 years to pay it off. You're still paying for something that's now worth, what, $15,000? But in this particular case, again, it's not the monthly mortgage payment that crushes people. It is the down payment that stops them. That's one bad idea. The other bad, how about this one? $2,000 and like, you don't like Trump. Well, I don't like some of his ideas. The other one is a $2,000 check to be coming to you in the mail because of the tariffs. Well, the tariffs have collected about $350 billion, they think, somewhere in there, that by the end of the year, right? So we put a tax as it comes in. The American people pay the tax. Part of that tariff is also eaten by the distributor of the product. But in most cases, we're slowly starting to see it come into the economy. So what he's basically doing is taxing as it comes off the port, collecting that, and then saying, here's $2,000 for you. You get the check. You get the $2,000 check. You're like, well, look at all that. You might just be moving it from one pocket to the other. It's not exactly a big savings, but the president also knows that you put this thing out now, the U.S. Supreme Court is going to make the determination, I think this week, on whether or not the president of the United States, using an executive order saying we are in a state of emergency, I have to tariff. I think Roberts on this one is going to come down in favor of that's a congressional action, a congressional responsibility. You president can't just all of a sudden say, oh, we've got an emergency, so therefore I'm going to tax. In fact, it was during the hearings and during the back and forth between the justices, and I think it was one who was asked, Gorsuch said to, so if the president declares an emergency, then the president could tax or the president could tariff. Could that also be the case if the president, whoever it is, says, well, we're in a climate change emergency, so we need to start taxing and stuff? And I think the folks that were representing the White House were like, what was the question again?
A lot of people were saying, too, that the early indications are they might rule against his tariffs.
They will rule against it.
And because of that, he's trying to flash like, hey, look, this is good for you.
Put the $2,000 out?
Yeah,
It reminds me, so in 1972 or 71, 72, under the Social Security Act, they hadn't increased the checks that people were getting. Inflation, they hadn't increased anything in 4 or 5 years. And they wanted to do like inflation. Now it's built in inflation, you get more money. So they hadn't been done. And then the 4 guys who were running for president, Wallace, I forget who, Humphrey, but the others too. And they said 20% increase on Social Security, 25% increase for Social Security checks, 20%. Well, Nixon gets it because it passes. And Nixon then is like, ugh, because what they did is they combined it with another bill, and they had the two together, and you couldn't split them. So Nixon hated that all of a sudden it'd be a 20% increase on Social Security. He didn't like that, but because they combined the two, that went through. He even made a comment, Nixon did, while he was signing it into law, that he didn't think that's the way to do it. Just all of a sudden, bang, everybody gets 20% increase on Social Security. But the checks went out to everybody in 72 in October, and it was, you're receiving more money from the Federal Social Security Administration, blah, 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 blah. And it was signed by Richard Nixon. There you go. So look at that. Hey, let's buy everybody's loyalty. Here's $1,000 for you. Here's $10,000 for you. What's it going to cost for a vote? Whatever it is. Like right now, the Democrats are holding out for the additional extension of the Obamacare subsidies that were put into place during COVID. Right? Remember that? That was the Affordable Care Act. They decided they were going to, they're going to make it much easier. They're going to be able to subsidize more people. Here's the question, if you're going to argue this with anybody in a nice way. You simply say, do you think it's fair that the taxpayers are giving tax credits to people that make $600,000? Should we subsidize people, because that's the amount, if you make $600,000, you get some tax credit in there, because that's what the Democrats are fighting for, because that's the extension of the Obamacare temporary additional funding from the federal government. When they eliminated anybody making 400% of poverty, they got rid of that because during COVID, let's just send money out to everybody. So if American people with an income of $600,000 would qualify for a government benefit, does that seem right?
John, that's probably the best question I've been asked in a long time.
Thank you. Was that Ann Davis?
Yeah.
That was.
Davison.
You learn one thing about I'm so bad with names, aren't I?
The worst.
Right.
And the more we practice, the more guaranteed you're going to botch it.
No, thank you, Jim.
At least he wasn't here.
All right, let's check with Ted Beener over there. Ted, checking traffic, of course. Ted, hey.
This traffic report is brought to you by Seattle International Auto Show. On the I-5 southbound on-ramp from Mercer Street, we've got a disabled vehicle partially blocking the ramp. Otherwise, we got areas of slowing, and that includes northbound I-5 with braking from Shoreline to 164th, and again from near Broadway to Marine View Drive. Northbound 405 has got scattered slowing from Northeast 70th all the way into Canyon Park. Both directions of I-5 are sluggish from Ravenna into downtown. Southbound I-5 crawls at times from the Duwamish Curve to 516 and from State Route 18 to the Port of Tacoma Road. Southbound 167, that traffic is pretty thick from 405 to 15th Northwest and again from State Route 18 to somewhere around the curve into Puyallup. Southbound 405 slows from Southeast 8th into Newcastle. Drive times, Bellevue to Renton, about a half hour. Renton to Puyallup, 52 minutes. Seattle to Tacoma, an hour. And Tacoma to Olympia, that is 15 minutes. And we got some slowings. You go through the JBLM area. Now, heading north, Seattle or Bellevue, both of those are right around 40 minutes. See them, touch them, drive them at the Seattle International Auto Show presented by BECU. Lumenfield Event Center, November 14 through 16. Discover your drive. SeattleAutoShow.com. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Ted Beener.
I'm telling you something. I want to sing from the top of the mountains. Dr. Mark Wagner, way to go. He's done 20,000 stem cell procedures. He's there at the Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. I went there, I think, 4 weeks ago because I had a bad, really, really bad hip. I looked at the x-rays, and he's like, well, you can just look at these. You can see how bad this hip is. And I was told earlier that you had to get a whole new hip, which involves, cutting the femur. We don't go into details on it. It's pretty nasty. But I said, I think I'm too young for that. How about stem cell? Because if you got a bad shoulder, elbow, wrist, knee, you people talk about bone on bone or something like that. Don't do surgery if it's a last resort. But the first thing you should do is get in touch with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. I'm telling you, it is a game changer. We're talking about a stem cell procedure. Absolutely amazing. It was a 90-minute outpatient procedure for me and just unbelievable. In fact, I did the show the same day, right, Joe? So goes to show you. All right, so bad hip, shoulder, elbow, knee, whatever it is, before surgery, you owe it to yourself to go see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. That's Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, and find out about stem cell procedure. Dr. Mark Wagner, MD.
Are you kidding me? Another touchdown! Seahawks!
Another dominant performance. Winners of 4 in a row.
What a game!
Come on now.
Touchdown! Seahawks! And guess who? Jackson, Smith, and Jigba.
What we're building here, we all feel like we have something special.
Mike McDonald walked into Lumen Field yesterday and said, let me get my belt.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, the home of the Seahawks.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With a Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching. This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteered to defend our country. Just dial pound 250, say micro. With Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team, you can switch in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
A 15-year-old girl who chewed through a rope to escape a serial killer.
I used my front teeth to saw on the rope in my mouth.
The killer prowled the Pacific Northwest in the early 70s. He's been convicted of murdering 2 young women, but suspected of many more.
Maybe there's another one in that area.
Follow and binge all episodes of Stolen Voices of Dole Valley, available now wherever you listen.
What's your holiday tradition? For most, it's gathering with a joyful meal. Unfortunately, for many families, that tradition feels out of reach. To help, please donate to Nourishing Neighbors the next time you're at Safeway checkout or visit nourishingneighbors.com.
Joe and I were just lamenting the beginning of the death of country music, or probably all music, because this is #1 in digital sales. This is the #1 song on Billboard Country Digital Song Sales. And here it is.
You can kick rocks if you don't like how I talk. I'm gonna keep on talking and walk my walk. Ain't changing my tone, ain't changing my song. I was born this way, been loud too long.
Okay, you're born this way out of what? A computer server? Okay, the whole thing's AI. The artist is called Breaking Rust, and it's the show that, where's the refrain? Walk my walk.
So kick them rocks if you don't like how I talk. I'm gonna keep on talking and walk my walk.
Get to it. Go ahead, get to it. Where's he gonna get going? Why do I hate it so much? We're guilty of it too. We use AI all the time to come up with songs.
Well, and in particular, you had a guy that you would pay for jingles. And
he wrote the Rye song. He wrote Todd Meyer's song. Jacob Ryan Smith, great guy, great musician, and I would probably call him and ask him how many people are still calling you and having you write jingles and songs anymore.
Yeah, for artists, for graphic artists, for video artists, there's just all manner of art is suffering because of AI.
It's weird. It's like what's good for me but bad for you. We do it. Like I'll say to Joe, let's do something like that Trump song, right? Here's a Trump song. We just stuck into the thing, good, bad, Trump, whatever, and it was less than 5 minutes.
Some say he's a savior, a beacon so bright. Others scream danger, they're ready to fight.
Okay, we're just as guilty because these guys took this thing and then got the song.
And they uploaded it to Spotify, so this is purely a streaming record, but it is on the Billboard chart, #1.
Made a few new foes, but that's just life. That's how it goes. I ain't bending over just to please a crowd. If I fall down, I'll fall down proud. I talk my truth, I live my way. Ain't nobody.
Oh, God.
The strange new world we're right into.
You think about how, because both Joe and I know country artists that struggle. I mean, go there to Nashville, try to get, was it Bluebird Cafe or something where you go there and you audition? Right, you just everything you could do. You know, on some songs, I was seeing that some of the one that Lanny Wilson with Post Malone, there were 7 different artists that helped write those songs. Yeah, just scratching to get somebody.
For decades.
The documentary on Taylor Swift going around with the little cassette and stuff. You knock on doors and get somebody to listen to you, and then you just plug into the computer, walk my walk. I don't know.
It's kind of gross.
I feel gross now that we do it with other songs. Do you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, then. We're just as guilty.
Shame on us.
Exactly right.
Keep doing it.
All right. Ted, checking traffic for us, please.
All earlier blocking issues have cleared, but there are areas of slowing, such as both directions of I-5 from Ravenna into downtown. Southbound I-5 bogs down from the Duwamish Curve to State Route 516 and from State Route 18 to the Port of Tacoma Road, and again from State Route 16 to 512. Southbound 167 stacks up at times from 212th to Northwest 15th and is solid from State Route 18 into Sumner and around the curve into Puyallup. And southbound 405 crawls from Southeast 8th to near the VMAC. Now, if you're heading north, northbound 405 slows from Northeast 70th into Canyon Park. Northbound I-5 has got brake lights from Shoreline to 128th and again from near Broadway to Marine View Drive. Some drive times, Seattle or Bellevue Seattle or Bellevue to Everett. Both of those are around 40 minutes. Heading south, Bellevue to Renton, that is a half hour. Renton to Puyallup, 52 minutes. Seattle to Tacoma is an hour. And Tacoma to Olympia through JBLM, that is at 50 minutes. I'm Ted Biener with KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic.
Seattle's Morning News.
Hi, I'm Charlie Hart.
And I'm Amanda Factor. Another round of ballots dropped.
Join us tomorrow for the latest on the race for Seattle mayor.
What needs to happen for the government to reopen? We'll ask New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold about that.
He's also covering the decline of the country's biggest environmental organization. What has happened to the Sierra Club?
All the day's news, traffic, and weather, 5 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News.
We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
New siding doesn't have to break the bank. We offer affordable options that add value and protection to your home. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. And while we're at it, ask about our roofing, windows, decking, and gutter services for even more savings. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free siding inspection. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
Time is running out to save 20% during the Bob's Heating preseason furnace sale. Now through the end of the month, save big on home comfort systems, generators, water heaters, and more. Plus, take advantage of 12-month interest-free financing and get your home winter ready before the chilly season starts. Trust the team voted best in the Pacific Northwest to be your dedicated home comfort company. Call Bob's today.
Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Bob.
Let's talk about your hair. Well, maybe after we talk about my hair. I've got great hair, as you know, and it's because of Advanced Hair. Yep, Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that I can attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but it's close to it. They put hair where you need it most, and bam, it grows. It's actual science. Advanced Hair has top-rated physicians, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins to regrow the very next day. It's even guaranteed to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation now at 425-449-8185. Mention Curly to qualify for $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. It's a limited time offer. Advanced Hair, the winner of the 425 Business of the Year, and the team that gave me my hair back. More importantly, they'll do the same for you, guaranteed. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
The G and Ursula Show.
There's 2 types of people. One's that use a washcloth. The other are bare hand bandits.
Hate to break it to you, but
Ursula, you a bare hand bandit?
Weekdays 9 to noon. Watch live on YouTube.
What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger. But your Wi-Fi? It would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity. Imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply.
This is Lynn. She's always been active, maybe a little too active back in the day.
When I was 19 years old and immortal, I stripped out all my ligament and I had to have 6 knee surgeries, and that's on my right knee. And then my left knee finally gave out and had a torn meniscus.
Years of pain followed until she saw Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I'm 4 months out and I have no pain in my knees, and I have had knee pain my whole life. I have no concept of what it was like without pain. It's a miracle. I'm totally thrilled.
No pain, no limits.
Dr. Wagner gave me the green light to ski again this year. I'm like, that's incredible. So I'm just so excited.
After years of surgeries and setbacks, Lynn finally got her freedom back.
I think he saved my legs, so saved my knees, and gave me at least another 10, 15 years to do what I want to do.
If joint pain is holding you back, find out what stem cell therapy could do for you with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Carpoolers using the SR 167 Express toll lanes now need a Flex Pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. Having good to go always costs less than pay by mail. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. The Senate is expected to take a final vote tonight on the bipartisan deal to end the government shutdown. On Capitol Hill, CBS's Erica Brown explains what's in the bill.
This spending plan will include government funding through the end of January. It also includes reversals to shutdown-related layoffs of federal employees. It includes guaranteed back pay for all federal workers. It also includes longer appropriations bills that will fund federal agencies and funding for SNAP through fiscal year 2026.
It does not include extending Affordable Care Act subsidies, which Democrats have demanded. Senators have been taking procedural votes. The Trump administration is still fighting court orders that would require it to fully fund the Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program for this month. CBS's Weijia Zhang at the White House.
At this point, it seems they are staying firm. They intend to fight this out in court, but it is confusing for many of these states because we've seen so much pull and push about what they are supposed to do, because obviously they also have to take steps to make sure that they are compensated for the funds that their states are entitled to.
Over 2,200 flights within the U.S. have been canceled today, according to FlightAware, a big headache for travelers, including those at the Dallas-Fort Worth airport.
I got here, and 10 minutes before I'm supposed to board, they canceled the plane, so.
It's frustrating. I feel bad for the people that are caught in the middle.
Due to air traffic controller shortages and stress, the FAA wants airlines to increase the cancellations at 40 airports to 6% by tomorrow and ultimately ramp up to 10% by Friday. In northwest Indiana, the snowplows have been busy. CBS's Ian Lee in Chicago with more on the winter blast.
This was winter's first big punch of the season. The storm has passed here in Chicago, although we did get about a couple inches of snow. We also got some high winds with gusts reaching nearly 50 miles an hour. But around Lake Michigan, some areas just got clobbered. In Wisconsin and Indiana, getting roughly a foot of snow.
The black box warnings on many menopause hormone therapies will disappear. FDA Commissioner Marty Makary tells Nora O'Donnell in an exclusive interview on how the treatments could provide hope for a whole new generation of women.
There's tremendous long-term health benefits, not to mention the short-term benefits of alleviating the symptoms of menopause.
Makary says the warning labels deterred women from using hormone therapy by demonizing it. Atlanta Braves catcher Drake Baldwin wins the National League Rookie of the Year award. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Coming up, another big swing in the race for Seattle mayor. The latest after Ted Biener at the real-time traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. The good news, there are no reported blocking issues. There are areas of slowing, though. That includes northbound I-5 with braking from Albro into downtown, from Shoreline to 128th, and again from near Broadway to Marine View Drive. Northbound 405 has got scattered slowing from Northeast 70th and Kirkland all the way into Canyon Park. Both directions of I-5 pretty sluggish from Ravenna into downtown. Southbound I-5 crawls at times from the Duwamish Curve to 516 and from State Route 18 to the Port of Tacoma Road. Southbound 167 traffic pretty thick from 180th to 15th Northwest and from State Route 18 to Sumner and around the curve into Puyallup. Some drive times, Bellevue to Renton, that has climbed to 32 minutes. Renton to Puyallup, 50 minutes. Seattle to Tacoma, just under an hour. And Tacoma to Olympia is 50 minutes. We do have some slowing as you go through JBLM. If you're heading north, Seattle or Bellevue, both of those up into Everett are both between 40 and 45 minutes. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Ted Biener.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo, and a new leader emerges in the race for Seattle mayor. Progressive challenger Katie Wilson has taken the edge over incumbent Bruce Harrell. She's up by just 91 votes. Seattle U political science professor Patrick Schottmer tells KIRO 7 TV this race is likely headed for a recount.
Given the surge of votes that we've seen, I think, that's pretty much what we're expecting to see. We're expecting it to be a nail biter. We're expecting it to come down to the last few votes.
King County Elections Office says it has about 6,300 ballots left to count. King County's incoming executive says he is fast-tracking his transition. Gurmai Zahalai says he wants to learn firsthand what the county needs.
Spending the night shift in our King County jails, riding the metro buses. You will find me in our public health clinics, learning the issues that you are experiencing every day.
The 38-year-old Zahalai will become the youngest and first immigrant to lead King County. A former Pierce County Sheriff's Major appeared in court today facing 2 counts of vehicular assault DUI for a crash in Graham. Prosecutors say Chad Dickerson hit an SUV with a family of 6 inside back in July. KIRO 7 TV was in court as Dickerson's attorney spoke for him.
Mr. Dickerson has already completed an alcohol evaluation. He was determined to have no significant problem with alcohol. He's already attended the DUI victim impact panel.
Dickerson pleaded not guilty to both counts. A jury trial is set for January. Much of Clallam County on the Olympic Peninsula is experiencing a widespread internet and phone outage. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch reports it all started with a fire last night.
Clallam County Fire Marshal Joel McKean says the fire started just after 6 Sunday night behind Olympic Tire on East 1st Street. Old tires burning in a dumpster, he says, quickly spread.
A nearby power pole was exposed to the heat and flames, resulting in damage to a transformer and an Astound broadband fiber line,
cutting internet and phone service. According to KNOP News Radio, Astound is working on the problem, but currently there is no estimated time for restoration. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
And your forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. We are drying out tonight. Tomorrow morning, some patchy fog and then sun breaks in the afternoon. Rain returns later Wednesday, heavy at times on Thursday. Right now, 57 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show. Thank you.
Somebody normal.
My name is Trish. I'm good at taking care of things, taking care of other people. Mm-hmm. Somehow I just always know if something's lost, I know where to look for it, to find it. Yeah. It's one of my gifts. I started playing the alto saxophone when I was in 5th grade. I really wanted to play the drums, but my arms aren't strong enough. I don't play all the time now, but I do still like getting my saxophone out from time to time. New Year's Eve, somebody will say, hey, Trish, get out your sax.
You know, it's getting close to the countdown when Trish breaks out the sax with her weak arms. Driving in a minute. Here we go. Hit it, Andrew. I'm going to assume it was my endorsement of you, Katie Wilson. You don't have to say anything.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Not too much background noise. Okay, that's great. Yeah, I'm in a bar having a drink. So, yeah.
How are you sleeping at night, Katie Wilson? There's 8,000 votes to count. 1,800 are being looked at, cured, as they say, right? So you're obviously just in some bar just tying one on. Is this what we can expect when you're the mayor, that you're in bars at 5 o'clock every afternoon? Is that what's going to happen, Wilson?
This is a special occasion, John. Feeling good. We just pulled ahead. So, I think we got this one.
It's crazy. I mean, I said when the first time you came in here, I said it's like a reality television show, right? She's never run before, but now she's the mayor of Seattle. I mean, we're not. This isn't definitive yet. We don't know. Bruce Harrell's probably going to call me on the phone and say, "Wait a minute, it's not over yet. It's not over, right?" He hasn't made the call, but I guess you can't help, but as you now move ahead, the news is, she's 91, and Randy Pebbles has said that he believes that you will win this thing because it's the late votes come in next, right?
Yep, that's right. And you know what? Young people vote late, right? Like older people, they get their ballot in the mail, they sit down at the kitchen table, they fill it out. But those young people, man, they just wait to the last minute. And we know that young people are by and large strong supporters of our campaign. So we're feeling really hopeful for these last few ballot drops.
You're going to make national, if not international news. You know that. You were in the New York Times a couple of weeks ago when they were talking about this particular race. But this has got to catch everybody by surprise that a 43-year-old woman who self-admitted is not exactly a glamorous person. You're not exactly the most outgoing. You're a bit of an introvert. You're a mom with a beautiful little girl, and you're right, and you're a husband that's supporting you through this whole thing. And you're gonna, if everything works out, you have 800,000 people in the city of Seattle with 14,000 employees with an $8.4 billion budget, and all of a sudden you're going to be sitting in that desk.
That's right. Well, I'm gonna be the very best mayor I can be.
Yes. This. How do you are you able to sleep at night, or are you just constantly just sitting on pins and needles?
I mean, since election night, I got to admit it's been rough, the tension, just waiting for the next ballot drop. But I think with today's drop, I'm feeling real good and really excited, right? I mean, we've been continuing to move forward with our transition planning, and we'll have some exciting announcements soon about people who are involved. And I'm really excited about the opportunity ahead. And I think we're going to make a lot of really good changes in this city.
You have to owe a lot of this to this army of Wilson people that were out there knocking on doors, right? How many individuals did you have that were just all in on Katie Wilson?
I mean, we've had hundreds and hundreds, if not, I think we've had literally thousands of people volunteer in some way or another. And I know that just in this general election stretch, we've had 700 plus people out knocking on doors. We have hundreds of people who are out helping to cure ballots. And basically that means, folks who forgot to sign their ballot or where their signature, didn't match what King County Elections had on file, going out and helping them to correct that so their vote counts. So we have hundreds of people out there doing that. Yeah, I mean, so many people have pitched into this campaign. It's really humbling and really exciting, right? And I want to carry that energy forward and make sure that all these people and more are involved as we start to make changes and govern the city.
Yeah, I'm getting the wrap up here. Well, I'll let you get back to, what are you drinking, by the way?
Oh, some sparkling wine. Felt that was appropriate.
All right. Well, listen, I got to tell you something. As a person who follows the news, I think this is just a fascinating story. If a young woman decides, I don't like the way the city's run, I'm going to see what I can do, and then gets hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of people behind her. And here you go. If things work out in your favor, you will be the next mayor of Seattle.
It's been an amazing experience. Yes, absolutely.
All right. Well, kiss the kid. Let's get back to your sparkling wine, Miss Fancy Schmancy.
I'm at a women's sports bar, so it's not that fancy.
All right. Thank you, Katie Wilson. There she goes. Wow, that is amazing. Hi, Andrew. Give me the music. Take us out with a little bit of election music. There we go. So Bruce is going to call me now. He's got my cell phone number. That is wild.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Seattle. I mean,
You thought she would win.
Well, no, I thought she would win prior to election night, but as of Wednesday of last week, I thought she got housed.
I'm going to try to find the cut. When she was doing a debate, somebody had some inside information that this person, this person, this person, and this person we are hearing will be joining your staff. And the names were all these people that were prior sort of leftists that had left either because the voters didn't want them anymore or they decided they would do something else. And she said, well, I'm not going to speak to that, which was a good move on her part because you don't want to give them any new news that they can then sort of follow. So she sort of avoided that one and said, I'm not going to talk about who would be joining. I'll just tell you we'll have good people around us. So if it does turn out to be true that these individuals, you'll recognize a lot of these names from a number of years ago. So how about that? That is wild. That's wild stuff. That is weird and wild.
So
wacky, weird and wild is my Johnny Carson.
It seems like a recount is just an inevitability, right?
Yeah, right. So what is it? 8,000 outstanding, 1,800 they're questioning either through signatures or something else. So that's 6,700. Yeah, they're going to have to do, I'm assuming, actually 1,800 are challenged, right? But if it gets down to 2,000, then they have to do an automatic recount on this stuff. But as Katie said, and as history has proven, younger voters turn ballots in later. If you remember, Shama Sawant was down, I think, by 20 points or something like that, where the percentage is way out against Shama Sawant. And then in the last 3 or 4 days, there's just this wave of people that were supporting the socialist, who my favorite comment from her was that the people should run Boeing, that they should get down there and the workers should run Boeing and they should make buses and not airplanes because airplanes are used to drop bombs on people. So converting Boeing, my favorite quote from her, which I used to do in her accent, but then I got a memo from management. I couldn't do her accent anymore, that they should not be making airplanes but be making buses because buses serve the public. Wow. Katie Wilson with Shama Sawant.
You know what's exciting about the Katie Wilson thing?
What is that, Joe?
Is that she clearly, I mean, she's willing to come on and she's willing to take our call at, a moment's notice. And Bruce hates you.
Wait a minute. Whoa. He doesn't hate me.
I don't know. I kind of got the hate you vibe for Bruce.
Really? Why's that?
Didn't you?
Hold on. Yeah, I don't either, Teeny. Hang on a second. You have your dress on backwards? Is that what you're doing backwards?
I do have my dress on backwards.
All right, that's true. All right, go ahead.
So, it started with the way he cornered you right over there by Teeny.
Before we went on the air the first time. Yeah.
And he was furious that you had facetiously endorsed Katie Wilson, which her camp knew.
It wasn't facetious. It was, I said, if you want to try socialism, let's go all in. Right? Let's see it, right? We've tried, but we didn't really do real social. And we're not talking about the socialism traditionally that you'd read in the history books where the government takes over the production, like Venezuela oil kind of thing. Just this socialism, sort of new soft socialism that we're seeing now that's going to be present in New York City. We take the money from the rich and we redistribute it to everybody else. Everybody else's life is better because, let's face it, you don't have to be a billionaire. There's no need for you to be a billionaire. You don't need all that money. So we're going to take a part of it that either you didn't earn, really yours, whatever this garbage they did, right? Mondani says. So we're going to give free this, free that, free this. So Katie, along, because we had her on and first met her, and I said to her, so you believe you can take the money, you get the money from Amazon and Microsoft and these things, and then take it from them. It's a little piece. She'll tell you it's a small percentage, and then we'll just, redistribute it. The government now is in the act of redistributing wealth, which is what the federal government does. So that, I think, is sort of this new, softer idea of socialism. It's not the production part. You're not getting in and taking over the businesses necessarily, but in a way, you are taking a chunk of the profit of the business, right? So you're kind of a slight owner of the business. Anyway,
but Bruce didn't understand.
Yeah, he didn't quite get the subtle nuance of
so he was ready to kind of try to strong arm you.
Yeah, and then when he came back in again, I think it was last week, and he saw me and I yelled, "Hey, where's that push-up contest?" I was going to take him on push-up. And then I went over and he was there with his wife, lovely lady, and I said, "Bruce."
Well, he was mad at you again.
And I said, "Bruce, Mr. Mayor, you have to he goes, you're in the entertainment business." I said, "Look, news, entertainment, whatever, right?" I said, here's your challenge. News/entertainment is being consumed on social media, and a 23-second cut is all people need.
Right.
When I asked you about shoplifting, you said, and the quote was, I'll quote him directly, but the words, the idea was, well, the shop owners need to know why those people are stealing, right? I said, "Bruce," and I said to you, "No, they just need to sell toothpaste. They don't have time to ask, hey, why are you stealing?" Right? And that thing got like 200-some thousand views. Thank you, Brandy Cruz, on that. I said, "Bruce, play checkers, not chess. Don't play 3-level chess or something. Just boom, knowing that 20-second soundbite that's all you're going to get. You're not going to be able to explain stuff in greater depth." And I turned to his wife and I said, "I'm sure you tell him this too. Be succinct. Just give people a 15-second soundbite. That's all. Don't try to say something and then backfill it with, well, they need to understand, because if they understood the upstream problem of why the people are stealing, then they would be supportive of us wanting to hire more police or more social workers or be able to have addiction counseling." I said, "Nobody cares about that. You've said the thing. You said the first thing." He goes, "Yeah, but you put that out." I said, "Yeah, because it's checkers. But it's not chess."
And you didn't put it out. You know, our team of digital people. That
Wait a minute. I have to take responsibility that my name's on the show. So,
Fair, yeah.
If I said, "Hey, guys, don't put that out there."
But yeah, it is kind of the hot take era, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Whether it's news or sports. Or
and I said
else.
to him, looking back, and Bruce said, "We should have been on social media sooner. We should have been more aggressive in using social media." Whoever was campaign director, they were a little late getting out on that sort of stuff. But you could see Katie was sending stuff out all the time about the pizza and everything else. And that's where people were getting the news, and younger people were getting the news. Could Bruce have done a better job with that? Sure. And again, these results are not final, right? But if history again repeats itself, as it has a tendency to do, younger voters, as Katie said, vote later. So there you go.
Let me ask you one more question. In the case of a recount, and we're talking, let's just use today, let's say it's a 91 vote difference between Katie Wilson as mayor and Bruce Harrell as mayor, and they do the typical recount. Are you 100% confident in the ethical nature of that recount, or do you think there is a room for somebody to lose a ballot or scrap a couple votes?
Wouldn't that be interesting, right? Because then because both of them have volunteers. The state of Washington, and specifically the city of Seattle, has learned its lesson. And it wants to make sure, they're both going to be checking, really checking on every single one.
So both sides participate.
Okay. I think the interesting thing, and I'm going to maybe get Jim Walsh on to talk about this tomorrow, because he's been saying, let's make sure that we have a clean, fair election. And when people say, well, you know what, sure, maybe somebody that is not actually a citizen of this country, maybe they did vote, or whatever, whoever they are, maybe they are a felon, whatever. Don't worry about it. What are we talking? How many people are out there?
Right.
Prove it. In this case, it will be kind of an interesting twist on the folks that are on the hard left that really don't want that type of scrutiny, saying, well, it's so infrequent, it's not that big of a deal. You might see them going, wait a minute, who's this guy?
Every vote counts.
And now every vote counts. When you have two folks that are on the left, now all of a sudden they're like, wait a minute. Is that guy a felon? Is he from another country? How did he get a vote? Where did he get his driver's license from? Then they're going to want maybe the rules that Jim Walsh wants to put in place. Whew, boy, exciting times. But Bruce Harrell hates me? No.
Maybe not. Maybe I've misread
Hate's
it.
a little strong.
He said, "Oh, you're going to be running for office anytime soon?
Oh, yeah,
I won't be endorsing you."
Yep.
We know how that looks with Bruce's people.
Okay. Okay, I'm not going to run for office again. All right, here's Ted Beener checking traffic. Ted?
This traffic report is brought to you by KIRO Radio Rundown on southbound 405 at 44th. We've got a disabled vehicle blocking the center lane. Got a backup, goes all the way into downtown Bellevue. Your Bellevue to Renton drive time has climbed to 40 minutes and likely to continue rising. Elsewhere, got areas of slowing on both directions of I-5 from Ravenna into downtown. Southbound I-5 is improving with brake lights from about 200th to State Route 516, from State Route 18 to the Port of Tacoma Road, and again from State Route 16 to 512. Now, southbound 167, that slows at times from 180th to Northwest 15th. Pretty solid from Pacific into Sumner and around the curve into Puyallup. And southbound 405, that's pretty crawling from Southeast 8th, as I mentioned, down to near the VMAC there. Now, if you're heading north, northbound 405 slows from before Northeast 70th into Canyon Park. And northbound I-5, that's got brake lights from Shoreline to 128th and again through downtown Everett. Drive times, Seattle or Bellevue to Everett, both of those are around 40 minutes. Heading south, Renton to Puyallup has eased to 45 minutes. Seattle to Tacoma has dropped to 55 minutes. And Tacoma to Olympia through JBLM has improved to 45 minutes. Text newsletter to 888-973-5476 and subscribe to the daily KIRO News Radio Rundown. Get the latest news and updates from your favorite KIRO News Radio shows straight to your inbox. I'm Ted Biener with KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic.
Remember saying those words, through sickness and health, to death do us part. You're looking into the eyes of your betrothed. Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day because here I am, I'm 63. Nick is, well, she looks 30, but she's a little older than that, but don't worry about that. And I thought, you know what? I want to have a long, long life. I owe it to her. You owe it to people that love you and want you around as long as possible. So I'm going to ask you to make about a 4 or 5 hour commitment a year to the people that love you. All you have to do is sign up for a free health analysis at Longevity Medical Clinic. I mentioned 4 or 5 times a year, about 4 or 5 hours, because you'll do a blood draw, and then you'll be on the phone for an hour. This happens about 4 times a year. And you'll talk to the doctor, and they're looking for early indicators of the things that are slowing you down or taking you out of the game entirely, like heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. And then they proactively focus on the prevention. It is science, and it's been there at Longevity Medical Clinic for 25 years. So do this for yourself, for the people that love you as well. Take the free health analysis at longevitymedicalclinic.com.
Are you kidding me? Another touchdown! Seahawks!
Another dominant performance. Winners of 4 in a row.
What a game. Come on now. Touchdown! Seahawks! And guess who? Jackson Smith and Jigba.
What we're building here, we all feel like we have something special.
Mike McDonald walked into Lumen Field yesterday and said, let me get my belt.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, the home of the Seahawks.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo. The race for Seattle mayor is not over yet, but the progressive candidate Katie Wilson is celebrating tonight.
Feeling good. We just pulled ahead, so, I think we got this one.
She spoke to KIRO News Radio's John Curley after Wilson took that 91-vote lead over incumbent Bruce Harrell.
Really excited, right? I mean, we've been continuing to move forward with our transition planning, and we'll have some exciting announcements soon about people who are involved.
Harrell has not conceded. King County election still has roughly 6,300 ballots left to tally. A recount is highly likely. U.S. Senate is on track for a final vote later tonight to end the government shutdown. CBS's Wei Zhang has reaction from President Trump.
The White House is optimistic because they continue to blame the Democrats, and President Trump himself said that he was supporting the current bill because it does not include an extension of those health care subsidies.
Those tax credits are the main reason why Washington U.S. Senator Patty Murray says she is opposed to the compromise bill.
In this package, Republicans have yet to address the health care crisis families are facing right now, a crisis that gets harder to fix every single day. I will be voting no.
The measure includes the promise of a vote next month to extend Obamacare subsidies. 8 Democrats are on board. That's enough to pass the measure. It will still need approval, however, from the House. As the government shutdown continues, air traffic is still being reduced. At last check, 57 cancellations today at SeaTac Airport. More from KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay.
Despite the shutdown, SEA's Perry Cooper says wait times at the checkpoints are fairly normal, about 8 to 13 minutes.
Kudos to all of our local TSA and FAA workers who have shown up and done their job since October 1st without getting paid.
Cooper tells Gia and Ursula you can help those unpaid workers by dropping off donations at the SEA Conference Center mezzanine between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. The airport needs non-perishable foods, toiletries like toothpaste, and they really need diapers. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Takes us to 5:32. We check in with Ted Beener now with the real-time traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. This hour is brought, we'll take a look and see who our sponsor is in just a moment. On southbound 405 at 44th, a disabled vehicle blocks the center lane. We've got to back up into downtown Bellevue. Your Bellevue to Renton drive time is around 40 minutes. And now on southbound I-5 at State Route 104, the county line, got a new crash that's blocking the right lane. Otherwise, got areas of slowing, including northbound I-5 with braking from Albro into downtown. From Shoreline to 128th, and again as you go through downtown Everett. Northbound 405 has got slowing from 520 to Northeast 85th in Kirkland, and again 160th into Canyon Park. Both directions of I-5 are sluggish from Lake City Way into downtown. Southbound I-5 crawls at times from South Center to 516 and from State Route 18 to the Port of Tacoma Road. And southbound 167 traffic is pretty thick from Center Street to 15th Northwest and from Pacific to Sumner and on into Puyallup. Some drive times, Renton to Puyallup, that is 42 minutes. Seattle to Tacoma, that is down to 50 minutes. Tacoma to Olympia is 45 minutes. Got some slowing still as you go through the JBLM area. And heading north, Seattle or Bellevue to Everett, both of those are right around 40 minutes. I'm Ted Beener with KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic.
Thank you, Ted. Your forecast brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. It's going to stay dry tonight. Tomorrow's also looking dry, some patchy morning fog, and then sun breaks for Veterans Day. Right now, 57 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Wilcox Family Farm Eggs is a giant wheel with the names of all the players who are on that wheel, and different colors of the wheel will come up as Teeny spins it, please. There she goes. Names of all the players. It goes around and around. Red, green, yellow, blue, green, yellow. And it lands on Joe. Joe, I'm sorry, but it's your chance to give you Wilcox Family Farm Eggs. Right?
Oh, I forgot my recipe list at home, but I'll just go with the old standby egg on toast, quick little scramble egg, slap it on a piece of buttered toast, and sprinkle a little cheese on top. I call it egg on toast.
Egg on toast. Yeah, there we go. Teeny gave you the yum. Okay, don't forget, all the recipes are going to be in that book, leatherbound, sent to your house on an hourly basis. All right. Hey, by the way, check with Ted. Ted, you are our in-house expert on vote counting and polling. There's the music.
I don't know if I would be an expert,
well,
but I have
everybody here. You're an expert.
Okay.
Give us your background.
All right, I've been working in the Snohomish County Elections Office since the 2020 election, so I've got a pretty good feel how the election process
stop bragging.
goes.
Go ahead,
right?
expert. Yes,
yeah. Go ahead with your question.
Okay, so what happens in a recount?
All right. First of all, it has to be within 0.25% of the difference between. Now, this race right now, I can't see why it would not be. So we have a recount. The question is it going to be a machine recount, which the county can do? Mm-hmm. So in other words, you're taking all the ballots and you're running them through the scanners one more time and see if you come up with the same numbers that you had before. Or they can also have the choice of doing a hand recount, mm-hmm. and the one that is behind at that moment, they will pay for that particular recount. That at least how they do it in Snohomish County. I'm sure they do it in all 39 counties across the state. And that is the hand recount process that takes a lot of labor and a lot more time.
So who pays for it?
The particular election group that is behind.
Okay.
So it would be Bruce in this case.
And
yeah.
Just off the top of your head, you don't have to give me the exact number. What does it normally cost?
I don't have that number, but I'm sure it's in the $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 mark.
Right, because you have a whole bunch of people sitting there counting each one of these.
That's correct.
Yeah, I was reading about another one that was really close. I think they had to count 56%, and they don't count them all. They count like a bunch of them, or they count just all the ones that are like. So if it gets down to 8,000, whatever it is, they count the percentage. Or do they take a piece of it and count like a percentage of it?
No, they look at all of them.
Every single one.
However, you're only looking at the ones that involve Seattle. So you're not going to do Bellevue or Issaquah or anywhere else. So that narrows it down quite a bit, but you still have to go through that process of finding each of those particular ballots because they're not grouped together.
Yeah.
They are all randomly throughout the entire hundreds and hundreds of thousands of ballots that are involved.
Okay, well, there we go. Thank you.
Was
Ted.
it a...
you have another question for Ted, our expert?
Is for any of you. When Bush and Gore's recount, did they have to do a hand recount?
They had dangling chads, and they'd have to hold each one up and look at it.
That's a whole different ball game when you had the punch card. Remember those kinds of ballots?
Chads,
you had the dangling chad and all that back in 2000.
I remember the Ryder truck for some reason. It must have been full of votes or something like that.
And they had to look at each one. They had a microscope, and they're looking down. What was the person's intent? Do they mean this and not? They had a dangling chad. Does that count or that not count?
Wow. Now, I've got a question for both of you. Have you ever been to the King County or any county's elections facility to see how the operation works?
Surely John has.
No, I have not.
Evening Magazine didn't send you there? No, I have not either.
Evening Magazine would go there now if they were also like making tacos there.
But you can do that. You can do it in January. It doesn't matter when you do it. The idea is to go through and see how the process works. It's really got a lot of checks and balances throughout the process. So all that misinformation out there, that's what it is. It's misinformation to come in and actually do that. In fact, I've challenged a few people who argue about it. I said, why don't you come in and work in the elections office? And of course they're going, no, I don't want to do that. So anyway,
you're a big fan of the process, Ted. That's what
it is. It's very, very credible. And the only way you'll know that is because you work it.
Boom.
Wow.
How about that?
All right.
Okay.
But in the state of Washington, I could be from another country, not be a legal citizen. I could have a driver's license given to me, correct?
True, but in order to get your registration to vote, you must have proof of citizenship.
Yep. That I am a resident, that I'm a citizen of the United States.
Yes.
So I thought in some races you don't have to be a citizen of the state of Washington to vote. There are a number of states where you can't vote in the federal, but you can vote in the locals.
Arizona's an example of that.
Right. So Washington is not.
It is not, as far as I know.
But they let you, when you do get your driver's license, they let you check a box regardless of whether it's saying that you want to register to vote.
Correct. But when you go to you have to sign a registration card. That's what they use to verify your signature. They compare what's on the envelope versus what is on your voter registration. In order to get that voter registration, you've got to be a U.S. citizen.
Right. And there's no way that somebody that would decide just to sneak into the country, breaking federal laws, and then there's no way that that person would then have the same type of character that would have them just put their signature on that card.
Don't you put that on Ted.
Ted, if somebody decides, I'm not going to obey the law, I'm going to just come into the country, but then all of a sudden they're going to see the error of their ways. And when they have that card in front of them saying you have to verify that you are a U.S. citizen under penalty of law and stuff like that, there's no way they would just put their signature on there and then fraudulently declare that they are a citizen.
That is correct. They will be taken to court.
Obviously, they have a great fear of U.S. laws. All right. Well, we'll see what happens.
Wow.
We shall see. All right. Well, that's fascinating. As Ted says, if you go see it, see right how they make sausage.
That's the challenge. Go see how it works. It's fabulous. It's fantastic. It's a great civic lesson. I really enjoy it when high school kids come in.
Do you do this on a volunteer basis? They don't pay you for this.
Yeah, they pay me about $19 an hour. Ooh, yeah, I'm making big bucks there, right?
Huh? Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
3 times the federal minimum wage.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Ted. Well, there we go. And then you were able to use up all the time. I don't have my chance to talk about my weird experience in the men's room.
Oh, save that for tomorrow.
Wow, that's a tease.
By the way, 3 good Ted drops in that segment. I hope you had your ear open for him, Andrew.
You're going to have to help me with that one.
Oh, come on.
You're like, it's fun.
Yes.
That's the other one.
It's great. It's fantastic. And it's amazing, I think, were today's quotes.
We'll save all of those for when Ted's not with us. All right. And in the meantime, I think that's great, Ted, that you say, listen, if you have some concern that it's not legit, go see how it's done. This will be a true test of the system here in Seattle because, if anybody just tuning in, 8,000 votes to count. Katie Wilson, we just had her on. She's 91 ahead. And there's 6,700 that are unchallenged, 1,800 that are being challenged.
Yeah, I think it was 6,300 that haven't been counted yet.
Right.
Need to be looked at. And then 1,800 or so that had been challenged.
Challenged because of the signature might not match.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, wow. We shall see on that one. All right, Ted Beener, you're back up again, this time checking traffic.
All right, this traffic report is brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. On southbound 405 at 44, still got that disabled vehicle blocking the center lane. Got to back up into downtown Bellevue. Your Bellevue to Renton drive time is around 40 minutes. And we also have a crash on southbound I-5 at State Route 104. That's right around the county line. It is blocking the right lane. They should be moving that over to the right shoulder here momentarily. Elsewhere, got areas of slowing on both directions of I-5 from Ravenna into downtown. Southbound I-5 improving finally with brake lights from about 200th to State Route 516 and from State Route 18 around the 5 curve, and again from State Route 16 to 512. And southbound 167, that slows at times from 180th to about 15th Northwest. Pretty solid still from Pacific into Sumner and around that curve into Puyallup. Southbound 45, still got some crawling as you go from Southeast 8th down to near the VMAC where that disabled vehicle is hanging out. Heading north, northbound 45 slows from before Northeast 70th into Canyon Park. And northbound I-5 has got some brake lines from Shoreline to about 128th. And again, as you go through downtown Everett. Drive times, Seattle, Bellevue to Everett, both of those around 40 minutes, not too bad. Heading south, Bellevue to Renton, as I mentioned, it's about 40 minutes. Renton to Puyallup, that has backed off to about 40 minutes. Seattle to Tacoma has dropped to 50 minutes, and Tacoma to Olympia through JBLM has improved to 40 minutes. For the first time ever, Lake Washington Windows and Doors is offering 0% interest for 60 months and 15% off new windows and doors. Visit lakewashingtonwindow.com today. I'm Ted Beener with KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic.
Oh, boy. Thank you, Closets by Design. If you've been thinking about getting the house organized, especially as you head in to the holiday season, you start to pull out Christmas ornaments or something, you notice, wow, this stuff is disorganized. And you would like to have some room for guests that are coming in, and there's a closet looks like a bomb has gone off in there. Let's get organized, and let's get Closets by Design. Why? Well, I can tell you from personal experience, they customize everything. When the consultant came to our barn there in Cleellum, and she was there from 10 to 3. That's a long time, but there's a lot of work to be done. And her expertise told us exactly what needed to be done. And she even said, you know what, in the laundry room, let's build a cabinet that matches the same wood match. I was like, whoa, this is customized. That's Closets by Design. They're family run. They've been around for 22 years. They're a local business, and they know exactly what they're doing. And when you think, well, that is really, really customized, what are the prices like? Well, hold on. 40% off, big savings, plus 15% off. And then 18 months financing and free installation. It's Closets by Design. 1-800-BY-DESIGN. Schedule your in-home consultation today at 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
And here is lefty Lenny Wilkins.
Remembering the legendary Lenny Wilkens.
Lenny Wilkens first suited up for the Sonics in 1968.
Head coach of Seattle's first champion.
And the Supersonics win their first ever NBA championship.
Icon in the community.
We're a better community when we take time to recognize one another.
Thanks, Coach. From a grateful city and KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
I'm Macy House with Baird Global Investment Banking. In today's markets, global financial capabilities aren't worth much without personal attention to your priorities. Baird Banking, Research, and Private Equity professionals are located across 3 continents, sharing more than investment expertise. As employee owners of our firm, we all have a personal stake in your success, here in the Pacific Northwest and around the world. Discover the Baird difference. Visit rwbaird.com/Seattle.
Have you tried the dining district at the Bellevue Collection? Grab lunch with friends, meet up for happy hour, and stay for dinner and beyond. You can sample international flavors and local favorites from talented chefs. Try a new cocktail on a rooftop bar or watch the game with friends and explore the lively nightlife scene. The Dining District at the Bellevue Collection, where your taste adventure begins. Learn more at BellevueCollection.com/dining district.
Stacey Rost here from Seattle Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of. And then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, prescriptions. But imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate, noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle, yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target problem areas: waistline, face, neck, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. For your free consultation and $250 off, visit ProSculpt.com. For powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men, it's ProSculpt.com.
For seniors, the holidays can be fun family time, but can also be a stressful time if you're struggling with bills. Our friend Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage says a reverse mortgage may be the holiday gift you're looking for.
Many seniors love their home but are struggling with mortgage payments and other bills. A reverse mortgage lets you tap your home equity for tax-free cash. You can pay off your debts and maybe put some extra money in the bank for peace of mind. You've worked hard for that home equity. Now let it work for you. And best of all, you'll have no mortgage payments the rest of your life.
And you always talk to a real person, not an AI robot.
That's right. You'll get a no-pressure consultation directly from me or a highly experienced senior advisor. Never a sales pitch and never, ever an AI bot.
Honest advice you can trust from the reverse mortgage experts, Best Mortgage, the VA loan experts, and debt consolidation specialists too. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
When you walked through your kitchen this morning, what'd you see? Did it make you happy? Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Well, I want to make you happy. We'll custom build you all new cabinet doors and drawer fronts, and using our exclusive 1/4-inch solid wood refacing process, transform your existing cabinets into a beautiful new kitchen. Add a custom quartz countertop, change things up a bit, add some more cabinets, install some cool new features like soft close drawers and sliding shelves, whatever you like. We'll help you to create the new kitchen you'll be proud of. All in about a week, and all with way less mess, hassle, time, and expense than the tear out. Stop waiting. For 18 years, we've been honored to serve thousands of happy customers, and we'd love to serve you. Call today and I'll get one of our pros to come out and show you how easy and comfortable it'll be to get going on your new kitchen. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
A 15-year-old girl who chewed through a rope to escape a serial killer.
I used my front teeth to saw on the rope in my mouth.
The killer prowled the Pacific Northwest in the early 70s. He's been convicted of murdering 2 young women, but suspected of many more.
Maybe there's another one in that area.
Follow and binge all episodes of Stolen Voices of Dole Valley, available now wherever you listen.
What's your holiday tradition? For most, it's gathering with a joyful meal. Unfortunately, for many families, that tradition feels out of reach. To help, please donate to Nourishing Neighbors the next time you're at Safeway checkout or visit nourishingneighbors.com.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Pendergast Law.
Hi, YouTube people. You YouTubers. Just sitting there wallowing in your own silence because the management here, the man took away your free speech.
That's right.
Man. All right. Who's going to sing us a song? Is it Hudson?
Hudson, Truncated.
Truncated. Oof. Wow, that hurts. Nice. All right, we'll get to letter of the day. First, take care of all the rest. Here we go.
Molly in the 425 says the Farmer's Almanac is going away, but the old Farmer's Almanac will still be available.
Oh, gosh. Thank
Very
goodness.
confusing.
All right. The squirrel's furry tails.
It's like us and KIRO 7.
Yes, exactly. Fernando in Seattle says both of you can't take the same day off. The show on Friday was lacking 2 of us. That's true.
Thanks, Fernando. Paul in Sammamish says, I agree with Bruce Harrell that John Curley is an entertainer and a damn good one.
Oh, thank you.
Shout out to me and my wife on our 35th wedding anniversary today.
That's what you get. All right. Thank you.
Congrats,
Thank you, Paul. Congratulations. Election twist. Dan in Stanwood says if she loses, you should probably move.
Good call. Colin in Bellevue says, a clean sweep for the leftists. I can't wait to see what happens now. Oh, wait. We know exactly what will happen since literally all we ever do, except for the last election. I just can't with Seattle voters.
And then how about Seattle having two co-mayors, Bruce and Katie, run it together?
I'll vote for that.
Okay.
Andrew in the 509 says, oh, please, God, please let it be a machine recount. I'm pretty certain there's only 3 elderly folks, Ethel, Beatrice, and Montgomery, hand counting in between naps.
Oop, no, Ted would say that's not the case. Mike in Seattle says, Bruce is done. Dirty politics didn't work. Shame on Bruce. Go, Katie.
Scott in the 360 says, I read it cost 25 cents per ballot for a hand recount, so it would be over $66,000 for that.
Look at that. There's some info. Look at that person coming up with some news. Well, let's make them our expert now. Right. Core memories at the dump. Mike in 206 says, they have an observatory at the Fremont dump now. Seattle's cheapest entertainment.
Huh. John in the 573 says, I'm sitting on Market Street in Ballard laughing hysterically about John throwing javelin at Grandma's furniture, and these 2 ladies are looking at me like I'm absolutely crazy.
That's
Best
all right.
story ever.
You okay there, John in the 573 crazy area code. RC in Edmond says, best Curley Show ever. Wow.
He liked that story, too.
High bar.
Scott in the 360 says, when I was a kid, the dump was open on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. On Monday, they would literally set it on fire. It would burn for 3 days and start the process over. They had people that scavenged the stuff for bottles, aluminum, and steel to sell to recycling. That was back then. Pop and beer bottle would be refilled.
Good old days. There's the long one. The Jim in the 360 says, back in the good old days, better days, we took a .22 rifle to the dump to shoot rats. Yeah. Other than like former grandma's lamps and furniture, then the guy with a cat would plow over it. Those are the good times. That you know what? I'm sorry. I want to get back to a simpler time.
That's right.
And now
Shooting rats at the dump.
of the day.
Thank you, Teeny.
Jesse B. says, this election stuff is crazy. I can only imagine Mr. Mayor's reaction. I was hoping John didn't get her in trouble by saying something, but I'm not in Seattle. It's just reality entertainment for us, I guess. Anyway, here's a haiku for today's show.
Oh, good.
The John Curley line. Robo John's message feels weird. Is Trish a T-Rex?
Oh, that's the woman who has weak hands and she plays a saxophone at New Year's Eve. Gets out her saxophone with people. Hey, play your sax, would you, Trish?
Oh, Trish.
Oh, you missed it if you don't know what we're talking about. You got. That's all she. We're here for the whole 4 hours. You should be as well. Can't quite get that right. Okay. Well, we should do it again tomorrow. Stay here for all the news, everybody. Here comes Ted Beener taking a look at traffic. Ted.
Alrighty, on southbound 405 at 44th, that disabled vehicle continues to block the center lane with a backup into downtown Bellevue. Your Bellevue to Renton drive time still close to 40 minutes. On southbound I-5 at State Route 104, the county line, we've got a crash that's blocking the right lane. Got a backup that goes into Linwood. Otherwise, we've got areas of slowing, including northbound I-5 with braking from the Michigan curve into downtown from 175th and Shoreline to 128th. And northbound 405, it's got slowing from just north of I-90 to northeast 85th after a crash near 70th cleared quickly. Both directions of I-5 are sluggish from Lake City Way into downtown. Southbound I-5 is loosening up with scattered slowing now from State Route 18 to the Tacoma Mall. Southbound 167's got brake lights from Willis to past 15th Northwest and from Pacific to Sumner. Drive times, Renton to Puyallup, that's improved now to 35 minutes. Seattle to Tacoma is down to 46 minutes. Tacoma to Olympia is 45 minutes. Still have a little bit of slowing through JBLM. Heading north, Seattle to Everett is 40 minutes, but Bellevue to Everett, that's climbed to about an hour, and that's thanks to that crash there at Northeast 70th. I'm Ted Beener with KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic.
All right, here's a prediction that I'm going to make if you're driving in your car or your truck, and I'm going to make you a guy. So you're a guy driving, and in the left-hand corner, a little sticker up there says how many miles until you have to change the oil and the fluids in the car, or a date is up there. And maybe every once in a while you look at it. Maybe you're looking at it right now. Hey, keep your eyes on the road. You know what you need to do? You need to make sure that you take good care of the car of yours. So that's preventative, right? You are just working to make sure the car does not or truck does not break down because you take care of it. You got a little money invested in it, and it's a big pain to get the thing fixed. But with your body, I bet you don't do the same thing. A lot of guys pride themselves on not even having a primary doctor. But if you want to be proactive, you don't want all of a sudden your doctor to go, wow, it looks like you had heart disease or diabetes or cancer. If you notice you're slowing down, you don't have the energy, you're aching and pains, and you got a lot of problems, you can't sleep at night, a whole bunch of other stuff that goes with all that, why not be proactive? Same way with your car, your truck. Let's be proactive with your life. Take the free health analysis at longevitymedicalclinic.com. Longer life, healthier life. longevitymedicalclinic.com.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed tax professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Every day, penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-783-8055. That's 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
It's freezing outside and your home's heating just quit. Repairs, replacement, pricey. Hey, it's John Curley. With unmatched savings and financing from Home Comfort Alliance, now is the time. Federal tax credits expire soon. Save up to $2,000. Utility rebates up to $2,500. Home Comfort Alliance warehouse clearance sale, another 25 to 75% off. Plus 18 months, 0% financing makes paying easy. Act now for the best savings. Visit homecomfortalliance.com today.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
The insurance world, it can be confusing, so have First Mark Insurance guide you through it by taking the free First Mark Challenge. They'll explore offerings from top carriers for better coverage and lower rates. They save the Heward family thousands. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest.